A little Sunday afternoon baseball from the College World Series. Happy Father's Day out there. Yeah, fathers and sons making their way into TD Ameritrade. It's TCU taking on Texas Tech. It's day 2 from Omaha right now.
Here is college baseball's home, where for over 60 years, champions have been crowned and forever remembered. Once-in-a-lifetime winners, unrivaled dynasties, singular stars.
This time I'm going all the way. It's a deep drive down the right field line. That ball is gone. This time I'm going all the way.
And unpredictable outcomes.
Cinderella wins the national championship.
Omaha, as always, now welcomes the Final 8. Each thrilled to be here.
That'll do it. TCU is going back to Omaha for the 3rd consecutive season.
But to be remembered, they still have further to go. Only then will they be home. This is the 2016 College World Series.
Welcome to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Day 2 from TD Ameritrade, and our first game featuring a couple of Big 12 schools. The number 5 seed Texas Tech taking on TCU. Let's check out our brackets now. And here, our opener, it's TCU and Texas Tech, still to come tonight, 8 Eastern. It'll be Coastal Carolina and Florida. Yesterday, both Oklahoma State and Arizona with wins in Miami and Santa Barbara. They'll play an elimination game at 2 Eastern on Monday. Hi, everybody. John Shambi alongside Kyle Peterson and Alex Cora. Well, yesterday, pitching dominated the day as we saw Thomas Hatch fire a complete game and a shutout in that opener. Today, though, we focus on offense. Alex Cora, Texas Tech. It's a powerful offense. It's a veteran offense.
It's a veteran offense, and it starts with Steven Smith, the leadoff guy. He was here 2 years ago. There's a guy that starts getting the line moving. 5 guys in this lineup with an on-base percentage over 400. They're averaging 10.4 runs in the tournament. They're 13 walks in the nation. It's an offense that they don't steal too many runs because they feel that when they're in first base, they're already in scoring position.
Meanwhile, for TCU, kind of a junior version, a younger version offensively. And speaking of young, they feature a freshman named Luken Baker, who's pretty powerful.
Yeah, you don't see too many guys like this in college baseball. Last year, Luken Baker was the National High School Player of the Year, and so often that guy is drafted. We don't see him in college baseball. Not so for Luken Baker. And over the course of this year, he's been maybe their most consistent hitter. Early in the season, they talked about his patience. They still do now. But now they're starting to talk about his power a lot more. And for a 6'4", 265-pound freshman, you assume that the power would come, but it really came after the patience was there the entire year. Baker's hit in the middle of this lineup since day 1. And for TCU, they needed somebody else to step in because it's a younger lineup. Baker's done that. He's stepped right in the middle of it. He's hit right in the middle of this lineup the entire year, and he's one of the more dangerous offensive pieces of TCU's offensive approach.
A two-way player during the year. He's been shut down as a pitcher. Jim Schlossnagle, his 13th season as TCU head coach. It's the 3rd straight year that the Horned Frogs have gotten here. 4th overall. They've never been here prior to Jim Schlossnagle taking over as head coach. As we take a look at our Capital One batting order. And here's what we have. Austin Wade, so patient up top. He'll grind out at bats, takes the walk. Evan Scalgian, that 3rd spot. Baker, Barzilli, a guy to watch, and as well, Josh Watson with a lot of power. And that lineup will go up against the lefty, Stephen Gingery.
Just a freshman. Stephen Gingery, and you got the California kid that's a freshman that's pitching for Texas Tech in Omaha day 1. And for Gingery, he's really flourished in this role this year. 13 starts at 3.23 ERA. Not overpowering. It'll be a low 90s fastball, but his ability to throw the changeup at any time has been why Gingery has stepped into Division I baseball and has been very good. So low 90s on the fastball plus changeup that you'll see to righties and to lefties. And against a TCU team that can be very active on the base pass. Important today for the freshman to control that running game.
Horned Frogs ready to roll. And these two teams met earlier in the year, and the Red Raiders took 2 of 3 in Fort Worth. How big a deal is that? How much does that play into this as far as you guys are concerned?
It's just go back, Book. As an offense, you got to stay within yourself. Stay within. Don't try to do too much. Relax and do what you got to do offensively. I mean, don't get caught up on the whole thing, on the whole stage, because the first 3 innings, we saw it yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader. The game was speeding up on guys. They were able to slow it down, and after that, they just relax and enjoy the whole atmosphere.
Yeah, then it just becomes a game. Then it just becomes like it has been those 3 games that they played in TCU earlier this year.
Yep.
It's a bigger stage, but it's the same teams. Scouting reports, just throw it out the door. It's just another game here in Omaha.
So Wade stands in, and away we go. Yeah, there's a strike. Austin Wade. The average doesn't blow you away at 292, but the on base should at 441 and a team high 54 walks. Ball. And a ball and a strike. Austin Wade, just a sophomore. Yeah, that clips the corner. Well, Stephen Gingery, most of the guys on this roster from Texas, he's from California, from Huntington Beach, California. How's that happen?
Yeah, good connections. That's one. Tim Tadlock's got great connections all around the country, and you don't see too many Huntington Beach by way of Lubbock. It's not exactly a route that you see a lot, but they're glad Gingery's there.
Baseball's one of those sports where descriptions, phrases, and you can actually use a description multiple ways. What's Stephen Gingery like? He's left-handed, is how they described it.
Period.
Yes.
Nothing
And
that
if you're
goes
in
after that.
baseball at all, okay,
Yeah, makes total sense.
I got it, sure. But they like it. I mean, Alex, one of the things the Texas Tech group talked about is the fact that he isn't really aware of the magnitude of this stage.
He's right there on the mound, but he doesn't really know he's on that mound. He won't get caught up on this atmosphere, the 25,000 people. He's just really here to pitch, go with the game plan, and get people out.
Got him swinging, went up and in. 93 with that heater, and Wade is gone.
All fastballs. All fastballs the entire at bat to Austin Wade. A few cutters to start that were kind of going away, then ran the two-seamer up and in, and then comes back with it later on in the at bat between 91 and 93. But all fastballs to start Austin Wade off, and a quick strikeout for Gingery.
So 1 up and 1 down. And here's Cam Warner. Cam Warner, native of Australia, the NCAA's 8 hits so far. And we showed you a look from our ump cam. Yeah, David Savage wearing the camera for us, and he's got the balls and strikes today. There we go. Scott Klein at first, John Haggerty at second, Chris Koski at third. And that one misses away. You can see it right in the middle of the top of that mask. I feel like we should have those as well. They should let us wander around wearing those.
Just GoPro it up all over the place.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I did steal your glasses for the broadcast today.
Mine were much larger than that.
Oh my gosh. 2 satellite dishes that you wore that were. Oh my goodness. And that one hit on a bounce out to short. And Garcia handles the chance.
And Garcia with a quick reaction, going to his left, not panicking in that in-between hop. And it's all about the first step on defense. Makes a good play, reads the hop, and he has plenty of time to do that 360 and make a good throw to first base. One of the reasons Garcia is playing shortstop today is because he can play defense. He's a guy that They're not going to panic with him at shortstop. He's going to be able to make all the plays. And in game one, if I'm managing, that's what I want. I want a guy on the mound that throws strikes and your best defense out there so you don't give outs away against a good TCU defense, offense.
Tell you come here more often than not. I feel like the head coach is prepared to brag about his shortstop defensively. I will say that Clay Fisher yesterday out there at short for UCSB, that was impressive defensively. Hit on the ground. Davis there to collect that. And Gingery gets a 1-2-3, including a pair of outs on the ground. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, coming up to hit.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase every day. And in part by Nissan. Innovation that excites. And Gatorade. Fueling today, fueling the future.
Fathers and sons. Yeah, give me some knuckles. As we get ready for the bottom of the first, Tim Tadlock, second trip to the College World Series, and we take a look at our Capital One batting order. And atop the order, it is Steven Smith. You see that batting average, but the OBP is .435, so he does a good job of not making outs. He's their right fielder and a guy that was part of the group that came in 2014. Another guy to look at is Eric Gutierrez, the Big 12 Player of the Year. He hits in that 6th spot. And Jared Janczek on the hill, a guy who started the year in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's been there most of the year. I mean, this is just Janczek's 6th start of the year, but the right-hander has very good stuff. The two-seam fastball is going to be so important for Janczek today because when it's right, it's a pretty good power sinker. And he showed in College Station the ability to throw the slider at any time. So that's the one thing to watch today with Janczek is how those two go together. Low 90 sink is good when you combine it with that slider. And a starter now is a little bit of a change for him, and he's added a changeup to that arsenal.
This guy red-shirted last year. His future was kind of uncertain. That clips the corner. Smith is a junior here with the Red Raiders, an excellent though high school football player. Hits it on the ground to short, and Merrill handles that one. Let's go downstairs. Welcome in the third member of our team, Kaylee Hartung.
Hey guys, when Jared Janczek's team came to Omaha a season ago, he watched every game from his iPhone. His freshman year when he got to campus, Jim Schlossnagle says he wasn't even on the map. He didn't think there would ever be a time, truthfully, when he would work his way into the rotation. As the season rolled on, they agreed it would be more important for him to continue working on his pitching as opposed to coming to Omaha as a spectator. But when he got to the Coastal Plains League and settled in with his host family in North Carolina, he realized they didn't have a cable TV. So his iPhone was his only window into Omaha. Now he's seeing it in living color.
Yeah, indeed he is. By the way, my math is fuzzy. Kaylee's the 4th member of our team. I said the 3rd member of our team.
Start, Boog.
More fun with math coming up in the 5th. We'll go long division then. Here's Orlando Garcia. Jim Schlossnagle very open about the fact that he was not sure about this kid's future. That one ripped out towards left center field. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Garcia towards second, and he's got a double. That was hard hit.
And head coach Tim Tadlock, he was debating if Garcia was going to hit second or 8th. He decides he's going to hit second because he feels he can get to the pitch down in the zone. He gets a sinker down and in. Garcia puts a good swing on it, making Tadlock look good, making that decision. This is a guy that's being hit in 8th. They weren't sure if he's the guy that was going to be able to move the line of this Texas Tech offense. Does a pretty good job getting to that pitch.
So 1-out man at scoring position. And here is Tanner Gardner. Check swing just
That
foul.
about worked.
Oh my goodness. Almost got past Barzilli down there at third.
Doesn't hit the cut of the grass.
Yeah.
It stays fair.
Stays fair. Tomorrow's a line drive in the buck and
Just another double.
just another double.
That's right. Ball downstairs. You see Janczak's a guy who's really trying to keep the ball down, get outs on the ground. It feels like that's kind of the standard college pitcher that you see. And the guys that are 95 and above are throwing that four-seamer, but otherwise,
Yeah. Sink is good. And especially, you know, for guys that aren't throwing 95. I think the one thing with Janczak too, and he did it as a reliever, but he's absolutely done as a starter. He doesn't have any problem with contact. I mean, two-seam guys that try to throw away from contact is 2-0 on everybody. He's okay with contact. Early contact on the ground. The pitch to Garcia was elevated enough that he could really cover it into left center. But other than that, early contact on the ground works usually pretty well for Janczak.
Garcia at second. Red Raiders looking to strike first. Alex, was there anything specifically you look to do as a left-handed hitter against the guy who throws a two-seam fastball, throws that sinker?
You make adjustments in the batter's box. Sometimes you move up closer to the pitcher. So instead of getting that pitch down in the zone, back in the batter's box, you get it up. So you got to make sure your sights are higher. If you see it low, just take it. And that's the adjustments as hitters you make against sinker ball pitchers.
Ball just missed. Janczak wanted that. Scout did as well. And now it's filled up 3-2. Just getting started, day two. John Shelby, Kyle Peterson, Alex Cora, Kaylee Hartung. Coming up tonight, Florida and Coastal Carolina. Kirk Saarloos, who's the pitching coach for TCU, is a big fan of this kid on the mound. Talked about the it factor with Janczak. Did he go? Did he go?
Yes.
Yes, he did. So Gardner is gone.
And one thing that Janczak does such a good job of is the fastball, the changeup, and the slider all come out of the same slot. So as it comes out of his hand, and you can see the reaction right here from Gardner, he didn't strike out a bunch. 31 strikeouts for a power guy over the course of the year is not a ton in college baseball, but did not recognize that slider. Looked like he reacted like it was a fastball. Bottom came out of the big strikeout right there for Janczak.
It's a good look from David Savage and Umcam.
It looked Gardner that he was looking for that two-seamer. Instead of staying back to the middle, the left center gap, he wanted to pull that pitch, and he got full on the slider.
Ball. Corey Raley here, the DH. Chance for Texas Tech to jump on top first. Pickoff play. There was nobody there. And the runner didn't see it. Now there's a chance he's going to get thrown out. Safe. Wow. Garcia didn't know where the ball was. And Janczak threw it to a base that didn't have a defender. Neither Warner nor Merrill was there.
And the last thing Garcia saw was a spin move. He never pay attention where the ball was. And as a runner, as soon as you go back to the bag, take a look at the center fielder. He's going to let you know where the ball is. The shortstop or the second baseman, they might fake you out that they have the ball. The guy behind you is the guy that is going to react to the throw, look at him, and take off.
I misspoke. I mean, Warner was in the general area, but
it was the throw that wasn't.
Yeah, Janczak misclubbed and airmailed the green there. Good breaking ball right there.
Be careful with that one. Almost looked like Rayleigh's trying to rock him to sleep right there. Take the breaking ball, and he tracked it the entire way in.
Outside corner got him looking, and Janczak pitches out of it. The double doesn't hurt TCU. Scoreless, end of 1.
This isn't just a field. This is Omaha, home of the College World Series, with your brothers at your side and championship dreams.
So ready to go here in Omaha.
Driven high and deep to right field. Out of here.
It's time to bring the title home.
It's all over.
The College World Series continues on ESPNU and ESPN2.
Oklahoma State wins it 1-0. What a job, Thomas Hatch.
That's into right. That's a fair ball. They get 2 more. Nathan Bannister playing the role of Superman tonight.
Well, you can sum up day 1, Wildcats and Cowboys. Oh my. Great pitching on behalf of both those teams. And we go to the second, TCU at Texas Tech. There's no score in our first look here in Omaha at the freshman Luken Baker. Going with the no batting gloves. He goes 6'4", 265. And is a freshman. I said yesterday that I'd take Austin Bush in our steel cage match draft that we have here at the College World Series. And I think I might want to.
Good news is I got the number 2 pick, and I'm taking this guy.
I went in there 2-1. I mean, that's a big cat at home plate.
He was a big part of this pitching staff this year, too. Had 10 starts, was thrown on the weekend. How about Gingery just saying, here's fastballs? He's throwing one off-speed pitch, I think, this entire game.
See that stretch. Very patient hitter. 35 in a row. He's reached base safely. This is the type of guy that they're starting to get. I mean, this is an elite recruit.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the most sought after guys in the entire country.
2-2 now, and Gingery deals. Right field, Smith is there.
Not today.
Not yesterday either.
No, no, not this week.
Gingery staying with that fastball. And Baker doing a pretty good job staying on that pitch. He was late on a fastball 0-2. Then he gets a fastball, he takes it, and he drives the ball to right field. But
if the wind's not blowing out, that ball's got a chance to go out. He stayed on it pretty good, but he hit it to right field today, and it's probably not the best idea, because if it's in the air, it's not going to go far.
You can see that wind coming in. I mean, it already showed you gusts up to 12 miles an hour. One down. Here's the Georgia Tech transfer, Elliot Barzilius, second year at TCU. First team all Big 12. Astros just drafted him. He got off to an outrageous start. I mean, it was hitting 500 for about the first month of the year.
He's over 100 points higher this year than he was last year. Barzilli has been. This is a TCU team that coming into this year, they're not quite sure what they had offensively. And Barzilli played some last year, but definitely wasn't playing every day. He's been a giant part of this offense, hitting right in the middle of the order and played a good defensive third base.
Yeah, the strikeout, Gingery's second. And there's 2 away.
It's just there's nothing too flashy yet. I mean, it's just fastball. That's what you like first time through the order if you could do it. Gingery really just saying, here's the fastball, and if you start to do something with it, we'll switch it up. But the fly ball to right field off the bat of Baker was a fastball. That time just threw the fastball right by Barzilli.
Josh Watson here. And flares that one out into center field, and the first hit of the day for TCU.
I like the way Gingery, from the second pitch of the game against Wade, Austin Wade, he throws a fastball in the inside part of the plate, letting them know, hey, I got the fastball. This is what we got. The wind is blowing straight in. Let's see what you can do with the fastball, and then I make adjustments. But if you're not able to catch up with it, or a guy like Luken Baker, he drives it to right field and the ball goes nowhere, you keep using it. Go 4 or 5 innings with your fastball, and then show them something else.
There's that breaking ball. The curve drops in for a strike against the center fielder Dane Steinhagen. This is the only guy that they'll lose off of this team. So, I mean, again, getting through a regional to super regional is hard, but this TCU team is likely to return 8 of the 9 that you're watching in their lineup today.
And the guy on the mound.
Right.
And potentially they could get Baker back on the mound next year. So, yeah, they'll be loaded coming back next year.
Liner, base hit center field. Watson stops at second. Back-to-back hits. What are you guys seeing the last 2 batters?
I mean, to me, the pitch to Watson was a good pitch. I mean, it was a fastball in his hands. That's a changeup, and what we've seen so far, the changeup from Gingery is kind of cutting on him. And if your changeup's cutting, it's not going to sink. Usually, that's the one that'll flatten out a little bit. When he gets over the top of it, and if he does over the course of this game, it'll have more sink. That one just stayed right in the middle of the plate.
And if it doesn't sink, it's a hanging slider.
Yep.
It becomes a hanging slider. Guys are going to be on it because they're hunting fastballs. You park on that right center gap right now. You see the way he's attacking hitters. Fastballs away, fastballs away. He hangs one, a change up, then you're going to be able to be on time and put a good swing on it.
2 on, 2 down. And no score here in the second. Ryan Merrill. Curveball for a strike. Is there a secret handshake that you guys?
That's secret, so I can't tell you that.
Oh, fair enough.
You weren't there.
I walked right into that one.
Millard West High School, about a 23-minute drive from here. 25 in traffic.
The secret being Kyle from Omaha and Merrill from Omaha. So maybe it's, I mean, I've done this event a few times. I'm not saying I'm from here, but
let's focus on the game.
Okay.
It's not.
I'd like
you in on that one.
I'd like to learn the Omaha handshake. 0-2 now.
I'd like more hair. We'd all like a lot of things, dude.
Fair point.
Me too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Would you like your glasses back?
Maybe someday.
Another good crowd here at TD Ameritrade for day 2. Got a couple of teams that are very familiar with each other. And that one spoiled out of play. All right, here's a weird angle for you. Is it a little bit of a bummer that you come here all the way to the College World Series and the team you match up with is a team from your conference? Don't you want to play somebody else, don't you? Or no, it doesn't matter.
Didn't matter to me. I play FSU one time here, Florida. Like I said before, it's just a bigger stage.
Okay. I'll be asking more dumb questions coming up. Don't you guys worry.
Math to follow that. Yeah. We're off to a good start.
The 1-2. Oh. Gingery appeared to hit his spot. Tyler Floyd did a good job presenting that one. And a look from Umpcam.
Good sequence. Breaking ball away, then bang, sticks that fastball on the outside half. Didn't get the call.
Great take.
Here's your 2-2. Didn't go.
Speaking of takes, that's a great take because he's been going to fastball away, slider, fastball down and away. So you're looking out there. You're looking outside. All of a sudden he comes in to be able to get your foot down and recognize the pitch and not swing it. That's a better take than the one before on the closest pitch.
I can see that from a freshman. 3-2, two guys on base. You throw a 3-2 breaking ball. I mean, he has looked comfortable since the first pitch of this game. Now starting to go a little bit more off speed in certain counts than we saw with the first 5 or 6 hitters of this game.
Watson at second, Steinhagen at first. 8th pitch of the at bat. Wouldn't chase. That's a pretty good AB from Ryan Merrill.
Does an outstanding job being patient, controlling the strike zone. He gets a pitch 1-2 down and away. He's able to take it. Then he gets a fastball up and in. You know, you go both ways. I mean, down and away, up and in, and be able to take the pitches. Then he gets 2 breaking balls, able to foul one off, and then get there early enough. You're still hunting the fastball.
Yep.
You look for the fastball, look for that fastball away. You recognize the slider, you take it. Great at bat.
Horned Frogs as an offense, they take a lot of walks. So does Texas Tech. And Michael Landestoy, the sophomore, he'll step out. Of course, remember his dad, Rafael Landestoy, played the big leagues 8 years. Astros, Dodgers, Reds. A little bit of an open stance for Landestoy, who starts at first base here today. 2 outs, bases loaded. And there's the curve. Well, Gingery got the first 2 outs pretty quickly. Baker flied out, Barzilli struck out, but then 2 hits and a walk. An 8-pitch walk by Ryan Merrill. Little roller up along third. That is a heck of a play by Tyler Floyd. Wow.
Comes out flying from the crowd. He looked like a shortstop making this play. One thing he knew, Landestoy not the fastest runner, so you call the pitcher off, go barehanded, turn around, do not panic. Good throw to first base. Floyd with a great play to get the 3rd out of the inning.
Father's Day and the College World Series. They always seem to intertwine. You know, there's nothing like going to the ballpark with your dad. Sharing hot dogs, pretzels, rooting for his team. Creating memories that last forever. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
What's better than taking in the game with Dad? This Father's Day. I don't know if my dad's watching. I hope he is. Happy Father's Day, Pop. Happy Father's Day to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good day. I think mine's watching at home today. A little too warm to be out here.
Kyle Peterson, you know, we show the kids in the stands and fathers and sons. This is the event you grew up going to games.
Every year, man. I mean, and that's the cool thing. When you grow up in this town this time of year, kids growing up, you pick a new team every year. Pick a new team. So you got to figure out who's coming and what hats you don't have, because that obviously figures significantly into who you're going to take. Coastal hats, the Santa Barbara hats, flying off the shelves this year. We got one in our house now that we didn't have 3 days ago. That was the demand.
That's a good looking lid right there on the left. Who are the teams that you remember, like from your
I was telling Alex, so my son's got all his hats on his wall, and I said, hey man, you got a Miami hat? I didn't know he had a Miami hat. He's like, no, that's not mine, it's yours. Pulled it off. I had no idea.
Got him.
FP Santangelo signed underneath it. It was Miami team from, I don't know, what would it have been? It would have been the late 80s, early 90s?
I don't want to say 80s. But yeah, kind of that late 80s.
Probably?
Late 80s.
Had no clue. It was on his wall. So it was that. I remember one year the Citadel came. Citadel had like the greatest mascot right in the middle of it. They'd never been. Citadel was the hat that year. Had to get one every year.
FP Santangelo. Sure.
Yeah. Will Vespi.
Sure. But this is where you caught your first foul ball, right?
My uncle caught it, but he gave it to me. Yeah, that counts, doesn't it?
Over at Rosenblatt, yeah. That counts.
Yeah, off the window, came down, landed right in front of us.
Love it. Hit hard up the middle and a base hit.
He can hit, man. He can hit.
Big 12 Player of the Year, Eric Gutierrez.
He has that short stroke. That's a hanging breaking ball. Not trying to do too much with it. He stays back to the middle. I was watching that home run derby this morning just to really see his stroke. And although it was a home run derby and all you have to do is hit home runs, but it seems like it was just his natural stroke. He wasn't trying so hard. One thing for sure, his dad was, I mean, it was like the same pitch in the same spot. Fastballs up and in, effortless. Boom, boom, boom.
His dad knew. Just piping him in there.
That, by the way, his first College World Series hit. He was 0 for 8 in their previous trip. Hargrove fouled that off his foot.
Gutierrez is that guy that when he steps up to the plate and you're on the mound, you can't quite figure out exactly where the hole is, because he has the ability to react to so many different things. Big 12 player this year, 20th round draft pick. They might get him back. I mean, he could come back for his senior year, but he's just, that is a college hitter. He really knows how to control the barrel.
Just watching his stroke, he reminds me a lot of Paul Konerko, a guy that a little bit awkward, you know, with his stance, but he was always able to handle pitches in different locations and it looked effortless. Especially when he was in AAA. Paul Konerko was a great hitter at the big league level. I played with Paulie in AAA with the Albuquerque Dukes in 1998. And I was like, wow, this guy's going to the big leagues. I'm not going to make it just watching him, you know. It's like up and in, getting to the pitch, staying back, driving it to right center. And Gutierrez has the same stroke.
Hargrove shakes that off as he gets plunked, and there's 2 aboard.
So Janzik, a little hanging slider earlier that Gutierrez singles on, and this is what happens when the sinker sinks a little too much. That one just kind of kept going, and you could see Hargrove hanging in there, not thinking it's going to keep coming, and then that one clipped him pretty good on that back knee. Sometimes it can move too much. Was trying to throw it on the inside part of the plate, and that arm side run just kept going.
Michael Davis, the sophomore second baseman. Really good arm. All right, here's a weird one. This is the type of stuff that I'm always looking at.
First one of these was good today. Let's see what the second one is.
I feel like more guys than ever are not using batting gloves right now in the college game. I mean, I feel like a third of the guys aren't wearing batting gloves.
Yes, but now they have this like new taping, you know, like it's like the tennis rackets.
Yes.
It's like leather,
lizard
skin. So
yeah.
That's the new trend, even at the big league level.
You kind of made a face like, you know, get off my lawn guy, like you don't like it.
No,
or something.
kind of. No, I like thin handle. I use batting gloves.
Right.
Not too thick either. Didn't like the batting gloves always in April or October. Very thick because of the weather. Although the October was one.
Yeah,
I love those. Yeah, those are. You knew you were playing in the playoffs, but had that feel of the bat.
Another way, but foul.
I think he'll change up here. So he goes a little backdoor slider. It's going to come back in towards the barrel. And that time Davis trying to take the ball the other way. Now you can show the exact same look with the movement going exactly the other way. So off speed this time going away from the barrel. That time coming back in.
1-2 now. Fastball got him. Little front door right there, ran that two seam kind of at the hip, and it got the inside corner. 2 down.
I think this is the one thing, Alex, when you watch Janczak, is some sinker ball guys you can eliminate half the plate because they're just going to live arm side, arm side, arm side. But Janczak has this ability to really finish this pitch. Two seam on the inside part to a left-hander, just freeze him because that pitch came right back over.
And as a hitter, you don't expect that pitch because you're thinking, well, he wants a ground ball to play. He's going to throw that two-seamer down. So I got to stay on him so I don't roll over. All of a sudden, he locks you up. If you see it for the first time in a bat, no chance you react to that one. Later on in the game, now he knows he might react to it.
But that first time, if he throws that pitch for a strike, it's a strikeout. If he misses in, he misses in. But if it's for a strike, you're going to get that reaction first time around.
The 0-1 to Floyd. And 0-2. Perfect pitch right there. Well, this game's scoreless because of a magnificent play that Floyd made at a swinging bunt to end the top of the second. Michael Landis-Stoy with the bases loaded, a little dribbler at the third baseline, and Floyd threw him out. The 0-2. Whoa.
And that's why Tyler Floyd's in there. Tyler Floyd's in there to make plays like Evan Scout just did right there. It's defense first. Hitting in the 9-hole. He was going to hit in the 9-hole the whole time. It's control the pitching staff, control the running game, especially today against TCU. If we get some offensive production, that's just a plus.
Spoiled that one and stays alive. Last 4 outs for Janczak via the strikeout. 3 of them looking. The freshman from Belton, Texas. Just missed. Wow. Talked about Kirk Saarloos mentioning the it factor, and they kept saying to him, you sure you want to stick around? You sure you want to stick around? And what Saarloos loves is he kept saying, no, I want to stick around. There's Kurt on the right. But he said, what I love is that he told us what he was going to do, and then he went out and did it.
Well, because of the challenges this team has had from a starting standpoint this year, I don't know that they're here without him. And I know that he hasn't been starting but for the last month and a half. But he went out game 1 of the College Station Super Regional, beat one of the best offenses in the country in Texas A&M. Tonight has come out, looked like the same guy so far. One thing I think you always worry about sinker ball guys early. Are they going to try too hard? They're going to try to throw too hard because that's when the ball flattens out. He hasn't yet.
First and second, 2 down. And a 2-2. Right side, Landis-Stoy. And puts it away, inning over. Texas Tech leaves a couple and a 2. No score.
The It's like a college town on a Saturday.
The whole town seems to shut down and revolve around college baseball for that week.
It is the mecca of college baseball.
You know, as a college kid is what you dream of playing for.
I encourage everyone, if you're a baseball fan and you have a bucket list, get out there, get to experience the College World Series.
Back here in Omaha. Oh, that's solid. For more coverage of the College World Series as well as interactive brackets and highlights, go to ncaa.com. They stole my hair.
Rojos.
That's a warm afternoon there.
Yeah. The Rojos. TD Ameritrade Park, not quite as hot as we had anticipated a few days ago.
Guys, this is great right here. This is perfect.
This is your weather, huh?
Oh, perfect. The only
Don't
thing
mind that 120 on the field. Let's not,
down there.
All...
Right. I do not want Cora as my weatherman.
Down there, 89 and humid. Puerto Rico, Miami. You know it.
Wade struck out swinging his first time. You look at teams and how they've gotten here, and for example, UCSB, Andrew Checketts was open about the fact, he said, I hope we just be 500 with all the turnover. Little roller right side, and then it spills out of Davis's glove, and safe at first is Wade. That'll likely go as an error on the second base. And what happened, Alex?
And Davis with the quick reaction, but he didn't get an angle. When you go into a slow roller, you have to create your angle to throw the ball to first base. And he went straight to the ball, rushed himself on the transfer, and that's why he was then able to make the play.
Did you want him moving more towards first?
It's more like you catch the ball off your left foot as an infielder. I always said when I'm teaching infielders, catch the ball on your left thigh. And after that, you just shuffle your feet and throw to first base. Regardless if it's a hard hit ball, a slow grounder, create your angle, and it's going to be a lot easier to make the play.
Wow, they're actually. So they ruled that a hit? Yeah, they did rule it a hit.
Nice folks here in Omaha, Boog.
That one in the dirt, and now 2-1. To finish up what I was saying, though, in terms of UCSB, they had 10 guys drafted last year, including Donovan Tate, the fourth overall pick in the draft. Well, I mean, TCU, they had more turnover than Jim Schlossnagle has ever had. And he had some concerns about what it might look like, losing 8 seniors and guys to the draft. Runner takes off. Good secondary lead. Throw. Out at second. Close play. Wade gunned down.
Tyler Floyd doing an outstanding job blocking this pitch. And TCU is a very aggressive team. It's a team that at first base, when you see the catcher dropping his knees, well, you're going to take off. You get a good secondary lead, you go, but Floyd kept it close enough. Good throw to second base.
They never got there.
Yeah.
Bad slide.
That's the one, though, I'll tell you, on the mound, that's like a gift. Because it was a 3-1 count. Right into that left leg of Michael Davis. The 3-1 count with the guy standing on first base. You feel like you just stole one on the mound.
Towards the hole through. And here's Evan Skoug. Now, one of the things this TCU team doesn't lack, and that is inspiration. That is Evan Scoug's wristband. It says Superhero Micah for Micah Ahern. And he's really a member of their team. A young man who they kind of adopted a few years back. And Kaylee Hartung, they have M's on their hats, and this is a kid that means a ton to them.
And guys, he's had such an impact on this team that last week a scholarship was announced in Micah's name that'll be awarded to a baseball player who embodies Micah's toughness, courage, and resilience. We're talking about a 7-year-old here who has impacted a team full of young men in such a powerful way.
He's got his own locker. Micah has his own locker at Lupton Stadium. Got a press conference for him, signed him to a honorary letter of intent. And it's top to bottom for this team. You'll hear him talk about him, and I'm sure he's watching right now. It's his teammate.
Yeah, a young man who's been fighting cancer, and it's pretty incredible the love and the connection that they feel for him and towards him. Scoug in an 0-2 hole. Gingery here, the freshman from Huntington Beach. They call him Cali. He's done pretty good work here today. No score here. Top of the third, the first of 2 from TD Ameritrade. Still to come, the #1 overall seed, Florida, and Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina making its first College World Series appearance, along with UCSB.
Yeah, that would be fun tonight now. Coastal Carolina, one of the best offenses in the country. Florida with the best pitching staff in the country.
On the ground, softly hit. Going to second to get one. Can't turn it. Aggressive there by Garcia to go and get the lead runner.
I was very surprised Garcia went to second base on this play. You can see him full extension, getting that sharp hop. A lot of confidence trying to make it. You saw him. He created the angle already, and from where I'm standing, I'm like, he's going to first base because he had the momentum to first base. But made a last-minute decision and perfect throw. It's one of those plays that you take a chance, you get the out, what a play by the shortstop. If you don't, you start thinking about it, you're like, uh-oh.
That was bang bang too.
First and second, one out.
Gingery not out of the jam yet. It's got to deal with the freshman Luken Baker. Yeah, the curveball misses. Talked about recruiting Baker, another guy who's not wearing batting gloves. He's got strong ties to Texas A&M. His dad went there. He grew up rooting for A&M.
Well, he was almost an Aggie. He was ready to commit. And they opened up the recruiting process. TCU got involved like many others did. At the end, it was Fort Worth that he ended up.
Pushes that one foul. Yeah, last 9 games. How does that plays pretty well.
Decent. Yeah, that's your thing. That's pretty good. Look at the power coming on too. He's got 9 home runs the whole year. 5 have come in the last 9 games. Still doesn't look like he's seeing that fastball all that well. The first time around.
Gary Patterson's got to be looking, saying
that'd be a pretty good tight end.
He could help us.
Yeah.
Gary Patterson. I think Jamie Dixon's here as well, their new hoops coach. Got him to chase, and it's a foul ball.
Here you go.
That's a pretty good job by Tyler Floyd trying to steal one right there. He's already done 2 really good things defensively behind home plate. He might have caught a seam. Baker turned around right away and said something, but Floyd didn't waste any time. He's going to tag him right away, see if he could steal the out. Instead, it's still a 1-2 count to Baker.
Let's see what Gingrey goes with here. The 1-2. Hit on the ground, big hop to third. Well, coming up, we will tell you the story of Micah Ahearn, TCU, and Texas Tech. No score.
He's a 7-year-old kid. He has the impact of a 40-year-old man.
He's part of our program. He's a teammate, and we signed him to a national letter of intent 3 years ago. He has a locker in our locker room.
Recently, I started writing Superhero Micah on my wrist tape and drawing Micah's name in the dirt before the game starts.
And that's why we wear the patch on our hats. That's why so many of these guys are so close with him and his family.
He just lights up a room just by walking in it.
Last time I saw Micah was against Kansas State. It was an unexpected visit. He showed up and just, hi.
I got to catch his first pitch. The whole crowd gave him a standing ovation.
His motto is Negu, and never ever give up. He's with us whether he's here physically or in spirit while we're in Omaha.
Micah, just know that we all love you. You're our true superhero, buddy. Never ever give up, because we won't either.
Micah's fight against neuroblastoma continues, but they have stopped his treatment. His family wants to enjoy this time with Micah and ensure he's living life to the fullest every day. They've been on a summer road trip to Florida, took a visit to SeaWorld, and guys, the next stop is Omaha. Thanks to an anonymous donor and some coordination with TCU, Micah will be here to support his team on Tuesday.
That is awesome. There's that patch for Micah on their caps. The 1-0 towards third. Barzilli, nice play. And 1 up and 1 down. All right, check out our brackets still to come tonight from the College World Series. Number 1 seed Florida taking on Coastal Carolina. Oklahoma State and Arizona, they've already won. And it's Miami and UCSB, an elimination game Monday at 2 Eastern time. Strike on the corner to Garcia.
Actually looked pretty simple. Janczak just, let's live down in the zone, let it sink a little bit, work both sides of the plate, and then mix in the off-speed stuff when needed. And that one is one that not too many have.
Yeah.
One thing to do at arm side, because you can cheat. You don't have to really get over the front side of your body to make that pitch, but if you're doing a glove side like he is right there, everything has to be perfect to make that pitch.
On the ground, Landestoy over to Janczak, and there's 2 down.
And Sarlos, Coach Sarlos, the pitching coach of TCU, yeah, the 8 factor, but I think he really likes him because that's Sarlos right there. Sinker, slider, down in the zone, pitch to contact. And as a hitter, you really have to pick a side. It's either with Sarlos, it was away or in. Because he lived down there, he changed pitch off of it and kept the ball down. Wasn't an easy at bat.
Up the middle, Gardner with a base hit. What you got numbers against Kirk Saarloos?
No, I don't remember my at bats.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Just last year you asked me on the show on Baseball Tonight my first home run. I didn't even remember.
Really? You don't remember?
Just some whatever. I just remember one at bat, I guess.
It wasn't just a good big league pitcher. Kirk Saarloos at Cal State Fullerton. I mean, the most overall appearances in the history of the school.
I think it's easier, too, to that point, Alex. I think it's easier as a coach to work with somebody that's like you, because you can, I mean, you can relate so much better and can go back to the things that you did. You know, if it's a power guy that's throwing 96 with a split or something that Saarloos didn't do, I think it's a little bit tougher to teach that. It's easier for him to teach a guy like Janczak. Swing.
That one towards the corner. And Gardner, oh, he stopped and then started back up. Gonna have a play at the plate. Safe. Tanner Gardner slowed down and then got the engine going, and Texas Tech with a 1-0 lead.
And Tanner Gardner, as a base runner, you got the plate right in front of you. There's a line drive by the third baseman. You become your own coach. But as soon as you lose sight of the ball, well, you got to pick him up. And for one instance, he slowed down. The third base coach was saying the whole way. He made the decision to keep going. Actually, he was stopping him. Yeah. He saw the bobble. But as a runner, do not take it for granted. You got to go hard all the way around the back, then keep going. Great slide going the outside part of the plate to score.
It's the right call.
Absolutely.
It's the right call. Left hand got in there in time. The ball beat him. If Scout handles it cleanly, gets the tag down, there's a chance they get him, but it was the right call.
Third base coach J. Bob Thomas stopped him, then started him. As it goes double and E7, allowing Gardner to score the first run of the game. We do have review, instant replay here from the NCAA baseball umpire program. That is not a play that is reviewable. So among those that are reviewable, deciding whether a ball is either a ground rule double or a home run, fair or foul past the bag, and a catch or no catch in the outfield as well as it affects home runs, etc. But that is not a play that can be looked at.
They didn't need to that time. David Savage had it right.
Yep. One and two to Neslony. See you later. Janczak gets out of it, but Texas Tech gets on the board first. Gardner sets the table and then comes around to score. And the Red Raiders on top. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Here from TD Ameritrade Park as we go to the fourth. And Texas Tech has taken a 1-0 lead. Tanner Gardner with a single and then scoring on the Raley double. And the misplay in left by Josh Watson. Barzilli, Watson, and Steinhagen here in the fourth for TCU. A little look at ump cam. David Savage behind the plate for us. These teams met 3 times earlier in the year in Fort Worth. And Texas Tech went on the road and took 2 out of 3. Barzilli a strikeout his first time. Gingery falling behind. Well, there are similarities and there are differences with these two offenses. The similarities are that both teams have patient approaches, coax a lot of walks, and there's some pop on each side. This one popped in the air. Foul ground. Floyd tosses the mask. Look out. And he couldn't come up with it.
You could see that one coming. You could see that one coming. That wind blown in from right field. If the body of Floyd doesn't turn that way, that ball is just going to keep going away from him right there. And Alex, it just didn't look like there was enough time for anybody else to get there.
I mean, he's been outstanding, but that's not an easy play because you're expecting actually the third baseman to call you off. This goes by what they work on during fall pop-up priorities. There's a pop-up in between third base and the catcher. You expect the third baseman to call you off. You're not as aggressive because you're expecting him, and also the wind. I mean, it's just a tough play to make.
Hunter Hargrove, the third baseman, could get there in time. 20 miles an hour, the wind gusts. And Barzilli will take his base. All right, let's go back to that scoring play last inning as Tanner Gardner was able to come around. Check it out.
And Coach Bob Thomas doing an outstanding job coaching third base. You can see him going halfway from home plate to third, and he has his eyes on the ball, and then he has to take a look at the runner. Gardner doing a good job picking him up. Great slide on the outside part of the plate. And Boog, you were talking about the difference in offense. Well, TCU is a team that they will steal bases to score runs. Texas Tech, they feel that at first base they're already in scoring position. Gardner with a great secondary, a great job rounding second and scoring that play.
There goes Barzilli.
You're not going to throw him out there. And remember, too, for Texas Tech, there was 2 outs, nobody on. 2 outs, nobody on. 2 out single, bang the ball down the line, and they take the lead. And that was run that Barzilli had a huge jump. I mean, that was stolen on Gingery right there. Going first move. And I don't care who's behind the plate right here. With that jump in Barzilli, you're not going to throw him out there. That's the style that TCU will play.
They do not do a ton with the bunt. Left side popped up. And Garcia calls off Hargrove. 1 down.
Time.
No, I mean, statistically, there is not a team in Division I baseball that sacrificed bunts less than TCU. They have 7 the whole year. Both the teams in the night game last night had over 70. Texas Tech had 69 coming into this game. They have 7. And when you talk to Bill Mosiello, who runs this offense, he said those aren't even really sack bunts. I mean, they're drags, they're pushes that happen to be when a guy's on first base that go down as sack bunts, but not intended to be given away an out.
One out, and it's Steinhagen. On a bound, it gets past Davis. It had some weird side spin. Down to third goes Barzilli, and they're at the corners.
That's a tough read for Michael Davis. As a second baseman, you got to recognize this ball is hit off the end of the bat, so you cannot be too aggressive. So you get in between. So as a second baseman, you see it. If you're not going to be able to get to that pop-up, go down to your knees. You got to block it because as soon as that ball is hit, you can see the side spin of the ball. He's not able to block it or make the play. You got to recognize swings, the way the ball is hit, and make plays after that.
You mentioned the swing. I think that might have been a little bit deceptive because it felt like a big, long swing that was going to yield something bigger.
If you just saw the swing, it looked like a ball in the left center field guy.
Right.
I mean, everything was going that way, and he just capped it out towards second base.
Here's Merrill, who walked on 8 pitches. Great at bat his first time.
Ball.
That's a hanging breaking ball that he was way out in front. He hits it actually with a cup of the bat, you know, the other side of the bat.
That's a big league over there for Steinhagen right now, too. I mean, he's trying to draw the throw from Gingery, but that one just about got him.
Close play over there. Steinhagen has stolen 12 out of 15. They got 6 guys in their lineup who have stolen 10 or more.
Stay on your step off. Stay on your step off.
At the corners, Texas Tech by a run. Ripped out into left field. And right there, Neslony makes the grab. Throw to the plate, too late. TCU on the board. And now racing for second, Steinhagen, and he's there. One.
And that's one of those plays that Coach Bill Mosiello talked about, important plays of the game. Man at third, less than 2 outs. Let's get the runner in. They didn't do the job with men at second and no outs. It almost didn't work out for TCU. All of a sudden, you get a pitch in the outside part of the plate. Don't try to do too much. Hit the ball in the air. Avoid the ground ball double play. And with the speed they have, they're going to score in that spot. And as a runner at first base, you keep your head up, see what's going on around. Don't become a spectator and react to what's happening. You get to second base. So good hit, great at bat, great base running, taking advantage of situations that Texas Tech is giving you right now.
That's 2 good at bats for Merrill. First time up was the walk. That he worked the entire count to time, and then that time knows a fly ball deep enough scores a run. And if there's a kid in the lineup that maybe you would be worried about trying to do too much, it's the kid from here. Just because there's so much stuff going on, but the Omaha kid drives in the first run for TCU.
A 1 to Landistor. On the ground. And good work by Garcia. TCU evens things up. Tied at 1. We're midway here in the 4th from TD Ameritrade. Oh, kids enjoying themselves out there at Fan Fest. Take it deep. There you go. And Grout. Yes. Inside. That guy's actually coming right to the booth and bringing that to me.
That one won't end well.
Jared Janczak continuing on the hill. Yeah, the first one to Gutierrez missing upstairs. John Shambi, Kyle Peterson, and Alex Cora along with Kaylee Hartung. Gutierrez with a single his first time up. Guy who has started every game since coming on campus to the only school that offered him a scholarship.
Tim Tadlock said when he saw him hit for the first time, he was trying to tell everybody about him, junior college, everybody else, to make sure Gutierrez had a place to play. Ends up to Gutierrez, comes to Texas Tech and has played just about every pitch since he showed up. For Jared Janczak, what we saw right there, we haven't seen much of today. His ability to control that fastball on the glove side. You'll see it right here. It's been pretty consistent, but when he's missed, and he hadn't missed much, you can see the glove of Scout come back over the plate. That's when Texas Tech has really got him. 4-pitch walk right there, though, and I think ultimately he hit Gutierrez, so it might go as a hit by pitch. But we haven't seen that all day. I mean, if he's missed, I don't think he's missed 2 times in a row. He's come right back. That time it was 4 that were not where he was trying to go.
He goes back in that sequence. He goes slider, changeup. And you guys have rhythm on the mound. You guys have just watching. Well, he's been establishing that 2-seamer way. You get comfortable on the mound. All of a sudden the game plan changes.
And that changeup, that second pitch, probably threw him off a little bit. So now Kurt Saarloos goes back there. He's like, no, let's get back to getting that two-seamer down in the zone, get your rhythm back so we can use the other pitches instead of setting up the sinker with the off-speed pitches.
And I think to that point, when you're on the mound, you have a pitch in your mind that you're thinking. And more times than not, it's going to be the same that Kurt Saarloos is suggesting, which is what it is. He's calling pitches, but it's not an absolute lock. You have to throw it. Sometimes when you throw that one that wasn't originally in your mind, that's where you start to get into some trouble. If you're convinced of it, that's one thing. But if not, that's when stuff can start to spin out of control. Now 5 pitches in this inning, 5 balls for Janczak.
By the way, Alex, you were 2 for 8 against Saarloos.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That was the math we promised earlier in the ball game.
You're getting better.
Yes.
I wasn't so sure about it early.
I went to Stanford. I know that. Got him. Nice play. Quick feet. Great move.
And we talk about tempo with the pitchers. As a base runner, you start feeling comfortable with the pitchers. And Jared Janczak, he does an outstanding job on the way up. He throws to first base. This is the perfect pickoff attempt of Janczak going up to first base. Gutierrez trying to get one more step. He gets caught in the air. Good job by TCU getting him at first base.
There are times on the mound as a right-hander that you're trying to see whether the guy's going or keeping close, and there's other times you're trying to pick him off. Janczak was absolutely trying to pick him off. That was his best move, and he just caught Gutierrez lean a little bit. But watch the right hand. Watch the right hand of Gutierrez going back. It just kind of sticks right there. And a little Willie Mays Hayes. I don't think he ever got there. Trying to reach right at the last minute. Come on. Come on.
You know that we're moving towards a generation of people are watching this broadcast that have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, regardless of generation, they often don't have any idea what I'm
you and me both.
That one. I bet I saw that movie 100 times.
Janczak with his 6th strikeout, and there's 2 down.
I think this is more the pitch and the 3-2 count than the location, because the location, I mean, that's not really where you want to throw that one, but it's the fact that he can throw a breaking ball in a 3-2 count. Hargrove looked like he was looking fastball right there, got the breaking ball, just didn't recognize it. And a big strikeout right there after a leadoff 4-pitch walk. Well, sorry, 4-pitch hit batsman. We go pick off, strikeout, the whole inning changes.
Give him the heater, Ricky. I mean, you're just looking at me. You're waiting for me to do it.
It's coming. Incredible patience.
Right-hander about to throw pitch number 65. Got to look at ump count. Davis struck out looking his first time. And a foul ball. Tied at 1 here, bottom 4. Day 2 of the College World Series. Still to come tonight. You got Florida and Coastal Carolina. On Monday, it'll be Miami playing an elimination game against UCSB, and there's a strikeout for Janczak, his 7th. And we stay tied 1-1. Jim Schlossnagle will join Kaylee Hartung coming up. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Back here at TD Ameritrade as we head to the 5th, tied at 1. TCU and Texas Tech. And we go downstairs to Kaylee Hartung.
Well, Coach, what's the importance of Jared Janczak's two-seamer against this Tech lineup?
Well, I mean, he's not a big velocity guy. He's got to be able to sink it, down into his arm side and throw that breaking ball the other direction. He can't just knock the bat out of people's hands. So it's important that he throws strikes, and that pickoff right there was really big as part of this game.
Well, you got one run on the board. What do you need to do to get to Gingerly?
Well, I thought we've put ourselves in some good situations, but just like any postseason game, it comes down to two-out hitting. They did a great job with 2 outs and nobody on, and we need to get a big 2-out hit to extend, a lead.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Jim Schlossnagle, we got to monitor his fruit intake. I think
it's getting up there.
Odd inning, he usually goes to an apple. It's a banana early, but
Bananas,
I mean, it's almost every other inning. So we'll keep you posted on that. Yeah, there's a strike to Austin Wade. That one foul back. One of the things that you look at with these two programs, Kyle, we touched on you growing up here, and back in the day the powers were the Mississippi States, the Oklahoma States, Texas, etc. These two coaches have turned these two schools into powers in college baseball.
Jim Schlossnagle's been at TCU for 13 years. Before he got there, they had very, very, very little postseason history or success. It's an apple inning, it looks like. And since he's been there, they've been in the postseason virtually every year. I mean, look at that. 2 seasons in the history of TCU baseball. Obviously, they had never been here. Now he's been here 4 times, 3 straight years. For Texas Tech, there have been plenty of wins. But until 3 years ago, they had never been to Omaha. Now Tim Tadlock has brought them here 2 out of the last 3 years.
These two guys know each other well. Schlossnagle tried to hire Tadlock back in the day when Jim was at Tulane and Tadlock was coaching. Where was it? Grayson College?
Yeah.
But he's been there now 4 years, and he's taken the Red Raiders to the CWS twice. That's hammered. Left field. Back there. Neslony. Gone! That's why he's playing. Cam Waters got the pop. The kid from down under goes over and out, and TCU with a 2-1 lead.
Cam Warner gets a pitch up in the zone after he tries to bunt for a base hit in the first pitch. He's able to stay on the pitch and drive it to left field. And with Gingery, that's what you've been seeing the whole time. Actually, it was a hanging changeup. It was a fastball. It's a pitch that you see fastballs in the outside part of the plate, fastballs in the outside part of the plate. You start setting your sights on the right center gap. If they hang a pitch and it cuts like you were saying early in the game, it's just like a hanging slider. You're going to be on time on that pitch. You're going to hit it out of the ballpark.
Right back into that barrel. We talked to Tim Tadlock this morning. He said, I saw Warner in junior college. I know this swing. He has as much power as anybody on that entire team. And the numbers might not tell you that. That's just a 6th home run of the year for Warner. But when he gets it, and he got that one, it can go a long ways. The biggest swing of the day so far for TCU. And I think now Tim Tadlock out just to try to slow everything down, slow the pace back down.
I think he made the point to the pen. He did.
Oh, did he already? He made the call.
And Hayden Howard is coming in. So TCU on the Warner Blast with a 1-run lead. New pitcher coming in. Cam Warner with a solo homer, his 6th of the year, and TCU's taken a 2-1 lead, and he has chased the starter Stephen Gingery from the game. And he is done after 4 1/3. 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, and he gives way to a new pitcher, the lefty Hayden Howard.
Been one of their key guys out of the bullpen this year, and this is the one thing that Texas Tech is not afraid to do. It's been freshman from a starter standpoint, but they get more experience when they go to the bullpen. For Hayden Howard, on for the 34th time, threw twice in the Super Regional against East Carolina, went 4 2/3 total, did not give up a run.
And Tim Tadlock told us, he said he's going to be aggressive. He goes to that pen and goes quickly. As Scow takes a rip at it. Here's Scoug, another one of those guys with no batting gloves. Ripped out towards left center field. Gardner not going to be able to get it. It'll roll all the way to the fence, and Scoug's into second. Lefty versus lefty didn't bother him.
Scout gets a curveball up in the zone. He gets that foot down in time, and when you do that, you're going to be able to recognize the pitch. You got to recognize speed of the pitch, and then do what you want to do with the pitch. And he stays inside of the ball and goes to left center. As a hitter, the most important thing you got to do, get that foot down. It's going to help you to recognize it. And Edgar Martinez used to say, do whatever you want with it. Because if it's a fastball in, you recognize it, you can take it. If it's a breaking ball up in the zone, you can stay back and go the other way. He slows everything down. And Scout does an outstanding job getting it down there on time.
Ball one to Luken Baker, who's 0 for 2. Hit hard, base hit right field. Smith will charge, and he'll hold up the runner. Baker hit that one through. He's hitting 12 straight now.
And Cal, they'll be throwing a lot of fastballs to Luken Baker, and it looked like he was late. For me, it's just backtracking the fastball, just letting it get deep, deep, deep. And you can see him here. You see the big hole in second base. The second baseman is holding run at second base because TCU is a team that is going to run. As a second baseman, you got to do that. So he takes a pitch and he goes the other way. And that's the beauty of his swing. He can hit it for power, but whenever you give him a hole, a pitch where he can just serve it up the other way, he will take it.
When they talked about Luken Baker and the things that he's done this year, there was an instance earlier in the year that was that exact same one where they were giving him the right side of the field with a guy on second base. And instead of trying to do too much, he's fine with it. Just take advantage of what the defense is giving you, and he's so patient that he can wait, trust his hands, and shoot it the other way.
And the thing is that he's not trying to hit a ground ball through the shift, quote unquote. No, he's trying to drive the ball to right center. He's trying to get the RBI. He's not just trying to get the guy over. And that's the mentality of the hitters. You shift the guy, the fourth hitter, the fifth hitter, and you want them just to hit a ground ball the other way. No, those guys are not going to change their mindsets. Most of those guys, they drive the ball to right center or left center if you're a left-handed hitter.
Look at the outfield defense. Smith in right, Gardner in center, Neslony out there in left. Elliot Barzilli, who has walked and struck out, does have a steal, and he has scored one of their 2 runs. TCU leading it 2-1, top 5. Nice stop by Floyd. And remember, it was Barzilli scoring that run in a 4th inning that saw the Red Raiders make a number of mistakes, including Floyd not come up with that pop-up. Here's another pop-up. Foul ground, right side. Gutierrez, Floyd, and Gutierrez makes the grab.
That's a good job by Gutierrez, recognizing what happened in the 4th inning. Floyd having trouble with the pop-ups because of the wind. You got to be very aggressive if you're a corner infielder and call off the ball. That's totally pop-up priority. You understand that it's going to be a tough catcher play for the catcher. You go aggressive, call it, and make the play.
That's what I like. He broke like he was going to make the play. I mean, there's sometimes you see guys break like they're going to back it up. That time he broke like he was going to make the catch.
2 on, 2 down, a run in, TCU with the lead. And ball 1 to the freshman Josh Watson. This guy's not the size of Baker, but he's put together. Yeah, the coaching staff says Baker goes about 6'4", 265. But they say that Watson is about as strong as anybody they have on the team. Good curve.
Quarterback and middle linebacker in 5A high school football in the state of Texas. And a kid that is just kind of every week getting to learn the game of baseball a little bit more. There is big time raw power. He leads him in home runs with 11.
Slashed foul. Well, it's been a home run here today that's been the difference. Cam Warner with a solo blast with 1 out. Yeah, the base is empty here in the 5th. And for Warner, his 6th of the year, 3rd in the NCAA tournament. So he's got half of his total in postseason play. And Warner got it going. 2-2 now. And the pitch. Just missed. Floyd trying to present that to the plate umpire David Savage, who said no sale. I mean, you didn't literally say it, but we would have heard that. He's mic'd up. You get my point, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be quiet here.
You didn't say no sale.
Time.
David Savage, who says time.
Getting better.
I feel like I should just go take the inning off, like just a half inning or maybe the rest of this inning.
Popcorn in the media room if you want it. It's right over there.
Hit softly to short, charging Garcia. Nicely done. TCU picks up a run in the Warner homer, and they have a 2-1 lead coming up. The head coach of Texas Tech will join Kaylee Hartung. 2 of the top offenses in the game going head-to-head. Cam Warner. Solo blast 2-1 TCU.
Come to the party.
Well, TCU's got a 2-1 lead on Tim Tadlock's squad. Coach, you brought in Hayden Howard in that last inning. What led you to that decision?
More than anything, Steven had a tough inning the inning before, and he's getting up around 75 pitches, and just felt like with the heat and everything, it's time to go to another guy.
You've got 1 run on the board, but what has Jared Janczak done to make it difficult for your offense?
He's a sinker slider guy. You need to stay in the middle of the field. He wants you to try to pull the ball, and you really need to get the ball elevated and stay in the middle of the field.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Well, 1-run game, and we'll see if Texas Tech can get Janczak to elevate some pitches.
Been pretty good
yep.
against these guys. I mean, that April 30th was out of the bullpen. He did not start that game, but still 8 innings, no earned runs, struck out 13 and walked 1. Likes what he's seeing from this lineup so far.
He's still got a ways to go against a very good offense. Tell the folks out there how you describe this offense. I mean, you said it. It's a funny description, but
yeah, it's. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but that's fine. We'll add it to the list today.
Well, that's what I try and do here.
I mean, to me, it's like that. It's like that group that rolls out in the over 30 league that's just better than everybody because they know how to hit. And it's. I tell you what it's like. It's like when you go to AA for the first time and you face a lineup and you're like, oh, I didn't know guys did this. I mean, they're patient. They make you pay. Now, they haven't made a lot of adjustments so far to Janczak. I think that's the one thing to watch. But for Texas Tech, it seems like a mature, advanced offensive lineup. And now we'll see if they can make the adjustment because they haven't yet.
Ball outside.
And Tadlock hoping that they will.
You say AA, I compare them more to a AAA PCL team, Pacific Coast League. Grind out at bats, take your walks, and then boom. And you know, you pitch in the PCL.
No, thankfully. No, that'd probably save 5 years of my life and a little bit of sanity, but no. No.
3-2 now. Floyd waits. And there's a patient at bat and the leadoff man, and tying run is aboard. Well, coming up tonight, it is Game 7 of the NBA Finals. LeBron and Steph go head-to-head. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern on ABC. That'll be fun. What do you got tonight? You got a side?
Yeah, that's my guy right there. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know me from the Man of the Moon, but that's my guy. I got the Warriors. Who you got?
I got a steak, medium rare.
You know what, guys? I mean, it's not. You don't need to keep doing this. I mean, I got it the first time. I got it.
I've been coming here since what? Since I was 10 years old. I knew, and we play against each other.
First time we played against each other. 10 years old.
10 years old.
I mean, Aguas.
Yeah,
I got us too.
Yeah.
I got us.
And it was
in Ohio. The first time was in Ohio. We played when we were 10 against each other in Ohio. And then you guys came here when you were 12.
I think no, it was the other way around. No, the pace setters.
Yeah,
whatever.
You guys came here. We got him though.
But
12. We got him.
He was a giant, right?
Yeah.
He was like the Jolly Green Giant with the
your
glasses. With my glasses.
I love this game, man. I mean, that stuff, it happens. Like, it was 30 years ago. I don't know, we don't really like to admit that, but the reality is it was 30 years ago.
Well, our hair it tells.
That's right. Yeah, that's about all you got to look at. That's right. 0 for 2. We tried.
And red over there.
0 for 3.
Right there. A ball and 2 strikes, man at first.
Here's your chance if you tech. I mean, you get the lineup to turn over, get the leadoff man standing on first base.
Tough.
Still got that one.
Wow. You know, we were mentioning those great glasses. There they are. 95 to 97. You pitch in the College World Series in 95 and 97 with Stanford. National Freshman Pitcher of the Year in 1995.
Yeah, get my mom and my dad in there. I like it. So here's the thing. My mom told me those glasses were really cool. And they were at one point. Now my wife comes out to visit me in college my sophomore year, and I don't know what to do. So I'm like, let's just go shopping because it sounds fun. Walk past this eyeglass store. She's like, hey, let's go in there. I'm like, why would I do that? I got glasses. My glasses are fine. She's like, no, really. Why don't we walk in here? Pull something off the shelf. She's like, yeah, let's think about these. Those were that was it. They were retired at that point.
Good for Julie.
Yeah, that was. She was right.
Great decision.
Yeah, it was her first of many.
You'd look good in that hat.
Kyle, yeah, he'll look good on that hat. Yeah,
I could see you in it too, to be honest. Janczak with a career high in strikeouts. Or I beg your pardon, he's got 8. His career high is 9.
We're in the 5th inning. Now in 8 1/3 innings against Texas Tech this year, he struck out 14.
The other way to base hit. Wade charges and picks it up. And Janczak in a little bit of trouble. So let's see if the over 30 team here can come up with a run.
They've been getting sliders down in the zone, sinkers on the outside part of the plate. You can see that's a sinker up in the zone, but I've been talking about setting your sights in the right center gap the whole time. He does a good job not trying to pull the sinker, staying inside the ball and shooting that hole in between first and second. But the pitch before, 0-2 fastball up just to change your eyesight. I mean, this is a guy that has been dominating guys down and away, sliders down. Also the 0-2, and you can see the mitt of the catcher. They wanted it up there. That's one of those pitches that, as a hitter, you got me back to the at bat. That was a non-competitive pitch, what they call. It's a pitch above the zone that, as a hitter, I recognize right away. You're like, oh, okay, 1-2. So let me go back and look for a pitch out of the plate.
Because he doesn't do it.
Yes.
Exactly, because he doesn't do it. And that's too, I mean, when the sinker up in the zone is not, that generally doesn't end well. And that one catches too much of the zone, and then we got action for the first time today too in that TCU bullpen. Looked like Brian Trigloff that was up and throwing for TCU.
It is. Texas Tech 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts today with men in scoring position. Tanner Gardner has scored their run. Fair ball. Floyd coming around. He's going to tie it. And they'll hold Garcia up at third. Into second is Gardner. It is 2-2.
Third time around the order, and we talked about whether or not Texas Tech, with this offense that is really mature, will they make the adjustment? Well, they've made it. Orlando Garcia got a fastball that was up and elevated, and now Tanner Gardner, who can really hit, takes a two-seam fastball that just it ends up right down the middle of the plate. And for a guy that's seen him 3 times already, that is right into that swing path, hooked inside the line. Texas Tech ties it, and Gardner came up at second base. I think it's just a cramp. The way that he reacted, it looked like it was a cramp, but that one it doesn't feel too good right now. Leadoff walk to the 9-hole guy comes around to tie the game.
Yeah, the question is it a cramp or is it? Now the way he was grabbing it. Yeah, it looks like his time please. The back of that left hamstring. Yeah, they're giving him something to drink out there. So
back at the island where I'm from, when you're cramping, they give you coconut water. Just get you back in it.
Does that do the trick?
That do the trick. Just go there. But Cal, going back to the 0-2 pitch, you got a guy 0-2, a guy that is leaving down in the zone. You're one pitch away from getting a ground ball double play. An 0-2 fastball up. It better be also right, closer to my eyes. If it's a pitch up and away, it doesn't do anything for me. It won't make me think. And as a hitter, obviously you got to see the ball and react to it, but obviously you fall into patterns. And it's 1-2 pitch. You all of a sudden, okay, well, he's been leaving outside. He's been trying to get that 2-seamer down in the zone. He wants me to roll over. As a hitter, I'm going to do everything possible to avoid that. What I do, I try to look up again, try to stay inside. So if he hands a breaking ball, I'm going to stay on it. And if not, I'm going to be able to get to the pitch and drive it to right field. And Garcia did an outstanding job in that at bat, recognizing that sinker and staying inside the ball.
this is Corey Raley's 1 out of 2. Texas Tech has tied it up to our score. And Jancic steps off.
Goes through.
That's a strike. See, we're going a little safety.
That's what it looked like.
And here, where TCU, they trust their offense. So you play the infield back. You got an infield, a sinker ball pitcher on the mound. You don't want to give up 2 runs here. If they hit a ground ball hard with the infield in, they cash in 2. So you play back. He gets a ground ball, hopefully for them, in the corner so they can get the runner at the plate. If not, ground ball second short. You get the out of first base, go back, and get your runs. You trust your offense. You've been a good offensive team. So trust your defense, get the out, go back to the dugout and score some runs.
One, two now, second and third, 1 out. 2-2, TCU, Texas Tech. Foul off first, Landestoy. Well, watch that drop about 2-3 rows deep. Still to come tonight, Florida and Coastal Carolina. Yesterday's winners, Oklahoma State and Arizona. They'll meet Monday night. An elimination game Monday afternoon. It'll be Miami and UCSB.
Oklahoma State, the only team that has not trailed in the entire NCAA tournament.
First team to get to Omaha without trailing since Georgia Tech in '92. That was a decent team. There were some players on that team.
Yeah. Peyton, Nomar, Veritek, Brad Rigby on the mound.
Is that the team that Jim Morris just left in Georgia and went to Miami?
Yeah, that was when, I think it was Mark Redmond in Oklahoma that beat him.
Yep. And the Minor brothers. Right side, Landestoy. And that's a big out. So 2 down now.
That's at a bad. You got to make sure worst case scenario is a ground ball up the middle. You have to, regardless of the stuff the pitcher has. Good two-seamer, good slider. You have to make sure you put that ball in play on the ground. They're giving you one run. So you gotta bear down, spread out. Do not strike out. Do not pop up. If you're gonna hit a fly ball, obviously you have to be to the outfield, but get jammed, hit a ground ball to second and short, and cash in.
Well, Jim Schlossnagle makes the move to the pen. And Trigloff coming in. All right, so here are the brackets. Still to come, it's Coastal Carolina and Florida 8 Eastern on ESPN2 Monday afternoon. It'll be Miami and Santa Barbara, and the loser goes home Monday night, Oklahoma State and Arizona. So coming up tonight, you got Florida and Coastal Carolina. I think there are expectations going into this College World Series. Power conferences, the ACC. What do they have, 10 teams in the NCAA tournament? Obviously, everyone talks about the SEC every year, but only one team from that league made it, and Florida is here.
Yeah, I mean, between them, there was 17 teams that were in the NCAA tournament. Between the ACC and the SEC, there's 2 here.
The thing about the team that is here, from Florida here, I love the way they pitch. And looking at talking to them 2 days ago, there's something about them that tells me that it's not like they came here to hang out and enjoy the city. It's business. And they haven't won a College World Series in the history of the program. And they understand that with this pitching staff, this is your window.
Preseason #1 team. And coming into like there was no discussion. I mean, it was the preseason #1 team, and for the most part, they've been top 5 the whole year. When they've scuffled, I mean, they'd scuffle for like 3 days. It hasn't been any longer than that.
And it was during the week.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. But the pitching staff is so deep. So deep. I think that's the one thing to watch. But I love the matchup because I really like Coastal's offense. And for Jared Janczyk tonight, I mean, I think some of this was just the fact that it's 95 degrees. We saw it on both sides. Janczyk kind of ran out of gas a little bit towards the end, but still, it was the two-seam fastball and the ability to control it that was so important for Janczak. But Texas Tech over time started putting better swings on it, and I think that's ultimately what chased him. A little breaking ball that hung in the zone, that two-seam fastball that chased up, and then that was the one. That was the one, the two-seamer that just caught too much of the plate on the 0-2 pitch when they were trying to elevate. Instead, it came back over the plate, and then Gardner with that last swing kind of finished him off. So Janczak out and Brian Trigloff in, which really been Trigloff, who's been a big part of this bullpen, and then Durbin Feltman, the freshman, that have been their top two guys. So now for Trigloff, this is not to try to get out of a jam. This is to try to go 2 or 3. But first and foremost is to get this offense back in there.
4 saves at 2.41 ERA. Yeah, the Yankees made him a 13th round pick. There's Loney strikeouts both times and both looking. So quickly 0-2. So Trigloff coming in and attacking the strike zone. TCU has pitched well this year, and especially well in the NCAA tournament. And the 0-2 way high. Janczyk, all he can do now is watch. Jim Schlossnagle, like Tim Tadlock, aggressively going to the pen. Here's a 1-2. Got him swinging. Big out there, but Texas Tech picks up the equalizer. 2-2 our score here at TD Ameritrade. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series, brought to you by the Capital One Cup. Dave Winfield here in Omaha and the Capital One Cup Fan Fest area. And Capital One annually awards $400,000 in scholarship money and the Capital One Cup trophy to the best NCAA Division I men's and women's athletic programs. Dave Winfield, of course, great pitcher for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, pitcher and outfielder. Senior year, went 9-1, hit .385, was a first-team All-American.
Drafted in 3 sports, wasn't he?
He was.
Positive he was drafted in 3 sports. I am. One of these days, I'm going to declare myself eligible for the NBA draft.
I've already done it.
Have
I
you?
did it twice in college.
Yeah, I just kind of think the time's right. You can do it tomorrow, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
6'1.5" power guard. Career high 7 on senior night, high school.
Get that press conference going.
You have like in basketball and football, you got the combine.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna skip the combine.
Yeah. Don't you gotta go?
No, I just skipped the pro day. You guys have seen what you need to see.
Bounce into the tough hop. Davis couldn't handle it. Skipped off his glove into center. And Steinhagen.
Michael Davis with the good reaction. You can see him get into the ball, and there's nothing you can do as an infielder in that play. You read it perfectly. You're supposed to get a Sunday hop, what they call an easy hop, and the ball just took off. And this is what starts to happen on these fields. You know, when you start playing back to back days, hot, gets hard, a lot of base runners. But as a second baseman, you get very frustrated because you missed it, but there's nothing you can do.
I mean, it looked like it hit a trampoline, that last hop. Just
That's the sound of a trampoline.
Yep. Universal trampoline sound. That one's better. That one's better. Little action count here.
There's a difference between TCU and everybody in the nation. This is a situation most of the teams in college baseball will bunt, especially lefty.
8-hitter.
Yeah, 8-hitter. You got guys, I mean, I watched Miami over the last 2 weekends, and they're bunting the 4th hitter. Zach Collins, the 3rd hitter, will get on, and Brandon Lopez will bunt, regardless where they are in the game. And right here, this is the difference between this offense. They trust their guys. They trust they're going to put good at bats. You trust in Merrill here that there's a man at first and second, big hole. You're going to get a pitch in the inside part of the plate, and you're going to shoot it. And as a player, you love that.
Absolutely.
You love it. You're like, okay, cool. You know,
it frees you up. It lets the athletes be athletes. It just frees up your mind when you get out there and let the athletes do what you do.
Hit on the ground is short. They go to second for 1. Can't turn it. I think that's one of the other reasons why you see coaches bunt a lot is fear of the double play, because they almost turned it right there. But I think that's what gnaws at a lot of coaches, and philosophically it's just not the way Jim Schlossnagle does it. It's funny because in his bio it talks about he grew up in Maryland as a fan of the Earl Weaver Baltimore Orioles, and Earl would be in on this philosophy.
Yeah. Good break.
Throw to second. Out at second.
It's twice.
Floyd 2 different times on balls in the dirt. Excellent blocks and deadening the ball to keep it right close and firing a strike.
It's the ability of bouncing back after blocking the pitch. He gets a breaking ball down in the zone. He's able to block it and keep it close to him. Barehanded throw to second base. He gets him by a lot.
And Boog, you said, I mean, he keeps it that close, but it's also in front of him. So all the momentum is moving into the throw. It's directly in front. Momentum takes it straight towards second base.
And as a base runner, Boog and Kyle, back in the day, the Expos, they were the best at doing that, reading dirt balls in the dirt. In spring training, you go through this drill the whole time. Managers will tell you, go ahead, go on the dirt ball the whole time. It's very tough to get you out. And Floyd is able to get 2 runners in the same game. Just blocking it. And knowing that TCU does an outstanding job reading dirt balls. That's what they do. That's part of the DNA.
I mean, didn't you think I felt like in both instances the runners got good reads and got good secondary leads and jumps. He just made a good play.
Yes. I said it, and I was wrong. But I mean, it was a great jump. But the difference is Floyd just did exactly what you're supposed to do. Dead net baseball. If it goes one side or the other, they're safe both times. And blocking the ball isn't hard because it's not just keeping it in front of you. It's how close that ball stays to you. How you can soften that top half to make sure that the ball just doesn't fire off that chest protector. It just drops off it.
And TCU, they work on this. This is the first thing they do in practices. They go through their base running. They understand that that's part of the game. And what you do as a runner, you start reading the angle, the path of the pitch, and you get out there more aggressive. As soon as that ball hits the ground, you're gone. You see the knees of the catcher, you're gone. And it's just a matter of a catcher making an outstanding play to throw you out. It's not a bad baseball play. It's just Floyd has been better twice.
in this game.
That top half, you could see it was a breaking ball, but the top half was so tilted down that when the ball comes up, if the top half is straight, the ball's going to go up in the air. It's not going to get deadened like he did. Floyd did it perfectly.
2-1 down. Cam Warner lurking in the on-deck circle. He's already homered. And he's got 3 of his 6, half his season total in the NCAA tournament. Outside corner to make it 3-2. So here we go. 3-2, 2 outs. Landeskog at first. Each side with a couple of runs. TCU is out hit. Texas Tech 8-6. 3 errors for the Red Raiders, 2 for the Horned Frogs. Got him swinging. Howard gets out of it. Got some help from his catcher. We're midway in the 6th. And we are all square. 2-2 here at TD Ameritrade.
I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling alive.
Gonna have a play at the play. Safe. Left field, back there, Neslony, gone! The kid from down under goes over and out. All right, so here's what we got. 2-2, TCU, Texas Tech, meeting for the 4th time this year. Day 2 of the College World Series. Janczak 4 2/3, allows a couple. Gingery allows a couple runs in 4 1/3. Cam Warner the home run. And Texas Tech coming back to tie things up, and here we are as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
A battle of bullpens now. Triglav on for TCU. Hayden Howard's done a good job since coming on for Tech.
Ice time.
Freshman against freshman, and they did just fine. I mean, it didn't seem like anybody was really wowed by the surroundings. Got knocked around a little bit late, but filled up the zone for the most part.
You came here your freshman year, yeah?
Yeah.
And what you see, you were the National Freshman Pitcher of the Year, and you came back here and pitched at home in the College World Series your first year in college. Were you stressed?
Yeah. Absolutely, I was stressed. I mean, we had played the high school state tournament was on the same field. It was on Rosenblatt, and I got it handed to me the year before in the state tournament. First round of the tournament, just got blasted, and I don't think I got out of the 3rd inning. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get back on the field. It didn't go so well the time before.
I mean, that's a pretty cool thing, getting a chance.
How did it go?
First year went a lot better than the 3rd year, I can tell you that. Boys from LSU didn't treat me so kindly the 2nd time here.
Left field, Watson.
What about you? I mean, it was, I would always hear from guys when you came up the hill, when you saw the ballpark for the first time in a bus, when you came up the hill. But what, I mean, what was it feeling like when you rolled in?
Coming here when I was a kid,
yeah.
I went to a few games. They had some Puerto Rican players playing for the Omaha Royals. So I went to the field and just thinking about the whole college atmosphere. And you know, you went back home, and I used to watch Oklahoma State and Miami. Yeah. Joey went to college, but now they were okay, whatever.
Your brother Joey went to Vanderbilt.
My brother went to Vanderbilt, but never thought about the College World Series. I was like, oh, it's a good school. He's a good player, whatever, you know. But just watching, I was like, I want to get back. I want to get back. And the first time, I said it before, it took me a while, man, to just settle down and just say, hey, we're here to play baseball. You know, it's not a dream.
this reality. So we got to get going. The clubhouse and the media is like, wow, we're big leaguers.
I mean, so many people. I mean, so many people have been affected by this event that way, and there are plenty of guys here. I mean, you were on last night with Brian O'Connor, who, I mean, he's won a national title, but from the area, so his personal connection to this event goes back a long way. You know, we had Oklahoma State yesterday. Josh Holliday talking to him the other day about those 80s Oklahoma State teams. He thought that he was just supposed to go to Omaha every summer.
This is what you do.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
And I love the attachment that everybody had to different players. You know, Holliday in particular, being around his dad and those Oklahoma State teams. You know, his guy was Robin Ventura. He said he was my hero. And Robin Ventura was kind of a big deal around here.
Pretty good inning there now.
Indeed.
Quick one for Trigloff. 1, 2, 3 for Brian Trigloff out of that TCU bullpen. Great one. A TD Ameritrade. All tied up as we go to the 7th.
Now Warren Morris. Hits a deep drive down the right field line. That ball is gone! LSU wins the College World Series on a home run by Morris.
Still stings a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit.
It's not fair.
20 years, man. Hair.
It's one of the iconic images.
It's I mean,
yeah, it is.
Every time I run this
seriously.
time, every time I run this time, it's gonna come up.
You see it.
It's gonna come up. No, Robbie Morrison went to LSU like a few weeks ago to throw out the first pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Wow. It's a lot of emotion.
Yeah,
huh?
it is. Who is that you're?
Mark Mestre.
Okay. Being
Doctor.
consoled by.
Yeah, he's a doctor. Right-handed
Man.
pitcher. What a game too, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, Robbie Morrison was your closer.
Roy Morrison, All-American closer. Great breaking ball.
Burrow was a
They
freshman,
went for
wasn't he?
Pat. Yeah. Pat Burrow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call him Pat the Bat.
Yeah. Exactly.
One thing about that game that people don't remember, it's kind of like this that day. The wind blowing straight in. It was a 5-3 game, bases loaded, no outs in the 5th inning. Pat Burrow hit it. And he crushed a pitch to left center. And Pat just stood there at the plate, bat flip. It was only a sac fly. And he got that feeling that, uh-oh, this is changing now. I think the next guy hit into a double play. LSU came back. J.D. Arteaga, the pitching coach for Miami, started that game. And Jim Morris went from J.D. Arteaga to the closer. I think it was in the 6th inning with 2 outs.
Wow.
And we had Alan Westfall, right-handed pitcher.
Sure.
Setup guy. And you asked Jim Morris if he would have changed the script. And he's like, nope. No chance.
It's the guy he wanted out there.
Yes.
Line to first. Warner is out. And you got the hit, though, when? In the 8th or the 9th?
In the 8th, in the 9th inning with 2 outs. Man at first and second. Eddie Yarnell was warming up, left-handed pitcher. He ended up being a first rounder for the Mets, I want to think.
Mets or the Yankees?
The Yankees, the next year, I think. They stayed with the righty. I took the first pitch fastball. Then got a slider, stayed in it. Got a base hit to left field.
See, he remembers the at-bats.
Yeah, he does.
He remembers.
That one you remember.
Yeah, got the hit. But then in the next inning, leadoff double down the line. Pat dives for it. We weren't guarding lines. That's not what Jim Morris does. We didn't do that. Double. Next guy hits a missile to first base. T.R. Marcinsic dives for it. Makes a great play. Lanier, the catcher. He's
Tim Lanier.
Tim Lanier strikes out. And I kid you not, people might say, yeah, he's joking. Pat Burrell starts jumping. I'm like, it's not over yet, kid. You know, I scream at him, it's not over. Well, next pitch, it wasn't over. And you can see Jim Gargiulo, the catcher, he's going down to his knees to block that pitch.
Yeah.
So Warren only played 20 games that season. He had wrist surgery, I think. Stays back. And the only part of the ballpark that you could hit a home run that day was down the line. Boom, got him. But then he went to some Pan Am games, or I don't know what it was. He ended up hitting 7 home runs. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know.
Yeah, played in the big leagues with the Pirates, among others.
He's a solid player.
Bounce to short. And Garcia handles the chance. Good work. Howard gets him 1-2-3. Time to stretch. A good one here in Omaha. 2-2 our score. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. On a windy day in Omaha, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Hi there. Tied at 2 at TD Ameritrade. Texas Tech and TCU. Floyd just started off. A walk and a run scored. And he's popped out foul to the first baseman. Well, this guy has been impressive behind the plate. Blocking pitches, throwing, all of it.
Scored a run, too. Led off the 5th. A leadoff walk came around to score to tie it.
Let's go downstairs to Kaylee.
Guys, this Texas Tech team had 10 guys drafted. Floyd here, one of the only seniors who wasn't taken. So after this team was facing elimination in the Super Regional to ECU, Floyd, trying to lighten the mood up after the loss, says, hey guys, don't worry. If we lose tomorrow, my career is over. The room laughed. He said, this team now says, do it for Floyd, has become the motto as they help him try to extend his career.
To be honest, yeah, I like that. But to be honest with you, he's a good defensive catcher. Yeah. There's a lot of teams out there that might take a chance later on.
Yeah.
Guy that presents pitches, so the play early in the game, float roller out in front, makes a good play, and then blocking the ball.
2-2 now.
Floyd's a guy whose future we don't need to worry about. How about this? He's never gotten a B in school, ever. He's just completed his first semester of grad school at Tech. He said his risk and insurance class almost got to him, but it didn't. All A's for this guy. His goal, to be a certified financial planner, help folks plan for their future, maybe some athletes. He says Zach Davis told him yesterday, hey, you can have all my money. He just got drafted by the Cubs.
Guy's first client. Big.
I'll let you take that one. You're a Stanford guy, smart guy.
His first client took me 8 years to graduate college, so I don't know that I would be the one to use as an example of this. But think of what he's done today defensively for Texas Tech.
Steinhagen right there. And one up and one down. Sunday Night Baseball coming your way tonight, 8 Eastern. Cubs and the Pirates. Cubs going for the sweep. And it all starts with Sunday Night Countdown at 7 Eastern. Jameson Taillon and getting the start against Kyle Hendricks. Cubs are good. And then Dallas will be back with us tomorrow. That's the best team in the bigs. And it's not close right now.
I haven't seen them play live, but watching on TV is what they call this, the greatest show in dirt.
On dirt, yeah. They are.
It looks like the greatest show on earth, the way they play. Very impressed with the way they have handled all the expectations.
Yeah, I mean, they came into the season as the Vegas favorites, and they got the best record in the game, the best run differential by a mile. But you start to get the happy bus going too fast for the Cubs fans, and they want to drive it right off the cliff. Don't jinx us. Don't say too many positive things.
Well, when you can pitch like that starting rotation, they've been amazing. Offensively, we knew they were going to be great, but defensively, a lot better. I know Hayward, he's a game changer defensively, but up the middle, Russell, Zobrist, Brian has done an outstanding job, and they move him around the whole week. He plays left, third, still making plays.
He went that time. Trigloff has been great. He's retired everybody that he has faced. All 6.
This time a little slider. Good view from up, Cam. You can tell right there too. That's the view of the umpire to make that call right there too. See if that bat crossed home plate. That time it did. Second strikeout of the day for Stephen Smith.
And of course the Cubs, their staff led by a TCU guy, Jake Arrieta.
Ugh. Just facing him, huh? Just thinking about him?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, just dominant. Two down, 2-2 game, bottom 7. Coming up tonight, Florida and Coastal Carolina. The Chanticleers' first ever appearance in Omaha. Florida's been here 5 times in the last 7 years.
Talked about Coastal. The road is about as tough as you could have. 4 teams here had to go on the road to get here. Coastal, one of them, had to win at NC State in the regionals. They were a strike away from elimination, and then go into Baton Rouge and take both games from the Tigers.
Got him swinging. Trigloff on point. 1, 2, 3 again. He has set down all 7 that he has faced. Oh, over here, here, over here. Come here. Right here.
This is Omaha, home of the College World Series and championship dreams. It's time to bring the title home.
It's all over.
The College World Series continues on ESPNU and ESPN2.
Now some of the stars here. Jackie Bradley Jr., 2-time champion at the College World Series. Sonny Gray, who was here in 2011. Michael Wacha, part of that A&M group that came in 2011. Michael Conforto with the Beavers in 2013. As we go to the 8-2 game. Speaking of Michael Wacha, lost a bet with his buddy from TCU, Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter is the Cardinals' second baseman, and TCU, Texas A&M went head-to-head in a super regional. And yeah, there you go. One of the Aggies' finest, Michael Wacha, paying his debt to the Frogs once again. He had to throw his bullpen in that hat and the TCU t-shirt, which I'm delighted by. That's funny.
That's back-to-back years. Last year he went boots and shorts when he lost the bet. 2 straight years at TCU has knocked off A&M to get here. Now they've got the leadoff man on here in the 8th in Elliot Barzilli.
And again, it'll be interesting to see how they play this, because they normally don't bunt.
Josh Watson does not have a sack bunt all year.
Showing it this time. You know, the one thing Jim Schlossnagle talked about is, look, their philosophy is their philosophy. They do work on it. I mean, they work on bunting. And one of the other things he pointed out is how important base running is to them. Look, this was an interesting point. He said, yeah, every day we stretch and then we do our base running first. He said, if it's important, you do it first.
Another thing he said, the game will dictate what you do. And if we feel that we can steal second late in the game because we got the move of the pitcher, the time is perfect for us, well, we do it. If we have to bunt, we'll do it.
So does the count dictate that you do something else here? You get to a 2-0 count?
Yes, it does. The reason is that you've been trusting your hitters the whole season. You understand that they not going to expand the zone. They're going to look for one pitch only, and do damage. 2-0 count, look for your fastball in one spot, put a good swing on it.
Yeah, this guy's got a .403 on base percentage. Here's a 2-0. Pop to right. Smith is there. So one down. And Steinhagen coming up.
Watson got the fastball he wanted. 2-0 count. Laid on it. Those are the important plays of the TCU game. In that situation, cannot miss that fastball. But he did.
Steinhagen with some baseball bloodlines. His brother played at the University of Texas, Landon. He's a senior. Next year, the guy that'll be out there in center for them more than likely will be Nolan Brown, who's in the Cape Cod League. He redshirted at a broken hamate bone and got the medical red shirt. That was my broken hamate bone signal that I just gave you.
There's some things that just carry no matter where you are in the world. It's the broken hamate sign.
Yeah.
Sound of a trampoline, which Alex did better than I.
A lot. The 1-0. Well, 2-2 with one out. And these two teams know each other pretty well. 3 teams from the Big 12 made the NCAA tournament. All 3 of them, these 2 and Oklahoma State, made it to Omaha. Right field, Smith just shy of the track, pulls it down, and there's 2 away. Tell you, the way the wind is blowing, I wonder if that would have gotten close to getting out of here on a neutral wind situation.
You look at the reaction of the hitters.
Yeah.
They know when they got it. You can see the extension of Steinhagen when he hits it. Just extended. He felt he actually didn't feel it, because when you crush it, you don't feel the ball. You know, it's when you square a ball off, you really don't feel it. Looked like he thought he got it there, at least to get it over the right fielder.
A ball to Merrill, who's knocked in a run with a sac fly. He's also walked. Omaha's own good runner. Tell you, Howard overall has done pretty good work. 3 1/3, 3 hits, and a strikeout. Delayed steal, and taken off for second is Barzilli. Well, there you go.
Barzilli doing a good job in this delayed steal, and everything starts with your secondary lead. You get a good secondary lead, and before the ball gets to the hitting zone, you take off. And Floyd, you can see him. He went to his knees. The middle infielders were a little bit late. It's just about timing on the delay steal. When you do it right, it's very difficult to defend it.
That's a lost art. That is such a great play when and it's got to be called at the exact right time. You kind of lull everybody to sleep, and then you got to sell it. Barzilla goes too early, everybody moves. It was that normal secondary lead, and then he broke just at the right time.
So now 3-0 to Merrill. And that's in there.
And it was the perfect call right there. I mean, hit by pitch, 2-0 count, fly ball to right field, a few pickoff, another fly ball to right field. Everybody's like kind of, oh, they're going to get out of it.
Right.
It's just about perfect timing. And that was great right there by TCU.
Merrill hits it hard but foul. Well, neither of these schools with a ton of CWS tradition, but they're building it. For Texas Tech, 2 times in the last 4 years they've been here. And for TCU, 3 in a row. And Jim Schlossnagle has been here 4 times, starting with 2010. Good eye and a good at bat. And now 2 on for Michael Landistore. Texas Tech went 0-2 in 2014. One of their losses was to TCU. Ryan Mosley is up and throwing, and now as he continues to loosen Floyd out to the mound.
Landistore faced Howard already in this game. He was very aggressive, got a first pitch fastball, got a base hit. As a hitter, you start wondering, you go, well, I got a base hit on the first pitch fastball. He might throw me something else. But no, just stay with your plan. If it's a fastball, go get him, attack it. If it's a breakable, just take it.
Tim Tadlock makes the point, and Mosley is coming in. So we'll go right on right. Or will we? Pitching change here in Omaha. So it looks like that they're going to make a move and bring up a.
Yeah, I think it's kind of Wanhanen.
It will be. Our bracket here, TCU, Texas Tech. Coming up tonight, the 1 seed Florida and Coastal Carolina. That's 8 Eastern, ESPN 2. Oklahoma State and Arizona. They have already won, and they will meet Monday at 7 Eastern. But Miami and Santa Barbara, that's the crucial one. UCSB and the Hurricanes at 2 Eastern on Monday on ESPNU. Loser goes home. So the first team will be eliminated on Monday afternoon. And here's the right-hander Ryan Mosley. Mosley, a junior. He was part of the group that came here in 2014 and was used as a starter.
And used as a starter for a lot of this year too. And we talked about the inexperience just from an age standpoint of this Texas Tech starting rotation. They're freshmen on the weekend, but one of the reasons they moved Mosley to the bullpen is to give him just a little bit more experience at the back end. So the right-hander comes on, real good two-seam sinking fastball, similar to Janczak with a little bit different arm angle. He comes a little bit more over the top, but still different look, and so he'll get a different look from TCU as Connor Wanhanen comes to the plate. It's kind of a Wanhanen plays against the right-handers, now Landistore against the lefties. So he's had plenty of at-bats this year, has Wanhanen.
So here we go, an opportunity with 2 outs and 2 aboard in the top of the 8th. TCU and Texas Tech all locked up. Merrill's the runner at first. Barzilli out there at second. And TCU 1 out of 7 with men in scoring position here today. Juan Hanan waits. And Mosley misses down and away.
Defensively here, you have to make the play. Obviously, you got to go and get the ball. But if you cannot reach the ball, just knock it down. You have to dive and knock it down. That's why you play deeper. You forget about the runners. Just make sure you make the play.
In the dirt. Runners take off. Throw to third. Tag. Safe. Wow. He almost got another.
Tell you what, man, you live and you die by it. And a few times today, it's been the play back behind the plate of Tyler Floyd that's thrown out TCU on plays like this. This is the mentality. The mentality is you see it down in the dirt, you're going. And wow, the throw just enough offline that Hargrove had to lay out. Couldn't get the tag back in time. You could see just can't quite get that glove back. It's now 2 in scoring position for the Frogs.
And he falls behind Juan Hanan 3-0. Austin Wade would be next. There's a strike. David Savage, our plate umpire, has done a solid job today. And wearing our ump mask. So we've had ump cam all day long. Bounce to short. And Garcia handles, and we stay tied 2-2. Mosley gets out of it here at TD Ameritrade. 2-2, we go bottom 8 here at TD Ameritrade. TCU and Texas Tech. And now time for the pick you up moment of the game, and it's brought to you by Enterprise. Tanner Gardner with an RBI double in the 5th, and that would pick up Texas Tech and make it a 2-2 game. That's where we are. You saw him grab his leg. He just had a cramp there, stayed in the game. And Gardner coming up to hit. He's got a couple of knocks today. See him stretching and try to stay loose. As Gardner gets ready to dig in, a guy who came to Texas Tech as a switch hitter, dropped the right side. Hit both in high school, was a great soccer player in high school. Tell you what, if TCU ends up winning this game, Trigloff's going to end up having a lot to do with it, because he has just kept all the momentum, whatever there is on the TCU side. It's been totally quiet for Texas Tech offensively since he's come in the game. Falls behind here, though.
I got him out of the jam in the 5th. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th, 3 up, 3 down in the 7th, but now 3-0 to Texas Tech's 3-hole hitter here.
Right there. That clipped the corner. Gardner didn't like the call. Live K-Zone had it as a strike. So here we go. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-2. Foul ground. Barzilli over there. All right, Alex, I got one for you. Barzilli makes that play.
He has the glasses on top.
What are we doing?
No
Why
idea.
are the glasses on top of the hat if you're Elliot Barzilli? I mean, because
doesn't make you look any better, you know. It's not like style points.
Well, but here's my question: is he expecting it to get sunnier? Because there are no clouds. Is there going to be an eclipse in the 9th, or what?
In between innings, he's been checking the sun the whole time, putting the glove up.
Made the play, but that's a good point. It's all part of the grander plan. You know what he's saying right there? I don't need sunglasses. Shades his eyes right at the last minute.
Have a little fun. You know? It's a high sky. Yeah, it's not too bad. You got yours on too, huh?
Just in case. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
To the hole, knocked down. Merrill safe at first. Raley's aboard. It's the go-ahead run.
And Merrill get into a spot defensively. You get a good jump. And I would like him to round that ball. And like I said early in the game, create an angle so you can throw the ball. You go down to that knee. That the ground is so hard right now. You're going to get like tough hops. And you're going to be a lot slower going to your knee and reacting to try to catch that ball. Just keep moving your feet, pumping your feet. Get to the spot. Short hop that ball and make the throw to first base.
That'll go as an infield single.
One thing to watch here too. Raley is the best base runner for Texas Tech. 19 of 19 this year in stolen bases. So for a team that doesn't steal a ton, if there's one guy on this team that is on his own, it's Raley.
That's the second time a TCU pitcher had thrown over without setting up. So as a runner, get your lead. Get your lead right away. Do not wait for them to set. We saw Gutierrez getting picked off early in the game. Oh, just make sure you get out there. They catch you leaning, you get thrown out, and this is a spot. I mean, you don't want to get picked off in this spot right here.
Big swing and a miss. Well, now 0-2. Yeah, Trigloff with 9 swings and misses. That has really been dominant. That scout was looking to receive that pitch. He was almost standing.
He wasn't trying to go there. They were trying to run a two-seamer up and away, and that one kind of leaked back over.
Oh, 2 now. Pitch to Neslony, pitch out. Nothing happening.
Open the gates right there. The reason I say this, as a runner, this is a pitch. After a pitch out, it might be a slider down and in. The reason you're looking for the strikeout here, you throw 4-seamers, you don't get too many ground balls, so this is a good spot to run.
Swing and a miss. Five strikeouts now for Trigloff.
And that was a slider early that he was getting everybody on. This time it's the elevated fastball. And he just stayed with it with Neslony. Gets ahead 0-2, runs the fastball that he fouls off. That time just keeps climbing the ladder. 4 strikeouts today for Tyler Neslony.
Got to get through a dangerous hitter here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Gutierrez, a single. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's flied to left. Triglov's faced 10 guys. He's allowed 1 to reach on an infield single, and he has struck out 5. I mean, give it a go here, yeah.
TCU's thinking it, that's for sure.
Man.
You got Eric Gutierrez, one of the best hitters in the nation. It's okay to keep him close, but with 2 outs, you got to pay attention to that hitter.
Yes.
Don't forget about that guy.
There he goes. Pitch is high, throw to second. He came off the base. So Scout not able to get the throw down enough.
And it was just a matter of time. You keep throwing over. Your lead is going to get bigger and bigger. You're going to feel more comfortable at first base. And it gets to the point that you're like, they're not going to throw over. I'm going to take off. He needs to concentrate on the pitcher. He's going to be slow. I'm going to get a good jump and go to second. With the overslide at second base, getting back to the bat. That's a good jump.
You think about walking him here?
Yes.
Yes, because I'm not going to pitch around him. I don't believe in the pitching around him with breaking balls down in the zone, fastball out in the. If you're thinking about first base open, 2 outs, and you don't want to face Gutierrez, go ahead and walk.
I agree.
Do not throw the slider down in the zone. You leave one hanging, hits a double. You go back to the hotel and you're like, what I just did.
Yeah. He's too good of a hitter. He's too good of a hitter that if you miss when you're trying to work around him, he'll make you pay.
Yeah, either do it or don't do it. And it's no disrespect to Hunter Hargrove. It's just, I mean, Gutierrez, the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Looks like Preston Guillory.
I believe it is. Kirk Saarloos coming out.
Another thing about pitching around guys, big believer that if you are thinking about that, just use the fastball. Don't go with your secondary stuff. The fastball is the one you can really control.
Yeah.
You can go way up, way away. You know what? At the end, he's going to be 2-0. You're going to walk him. So
I think the other thing, too, with Trigloff, he's got more than 3 innings twice all year. And the last time he did it was in early April. So, he's been a really important part of this bullpen. But still, you're stretching him to the point that he hasn't done very many times this year. And when you get to that point, that's when the control starts to go away.
So Guillory and Burnett, a righty and a lefty. Most runs batted in of any active D1 player. Hunter Hargrove would be next, and now he will be next. So it'll go as an intentional walk, and it'll be left up to Hargrove to cash in this chance. 2-2 game, bottom 8. Texas Tech led 1-0. TCU tied it. TCU led 2-1. That was into the top of the 5th on the Warner home run. And then Gardner, the RBI double in the bottom of the 5th to tie it at 2. And here's where we are. Triglav hit hard, fair ball. Rarely coming in to score. And Gutierrez stopping at third. Texas Tech. The Red Raiders take a 3-2 lead. Hunter Hargrove delivers.
Hargrove, who was hit in the first at bat with that two-seamer in early in the count, gets a pitch up and in, and he's able to pull his hands inside and keep this ball fair. It's an elevated fastball. He does a good job staying on top of it. Great base running play by Eric Gutierrez, and you can see Hargrove getting to second base with the throw to third. Outstanding job.
Hunter Hargrove, a guy that did not start for about 2/3 of this year. Tim Tadlock makes a move and said we wanted a more offensive lineup. Hargrove makes us more offensive, and he comes up huge right there.
Well, they've had a lot of guys play in that spot. So we get a pitching change here at TD Ameritrade Park, and the Red Raiders are pushed across the go-ahead run. All right, Triglav now going to have to look on. 3 innings, the 2 hits, 52 pitches. He did good work. I think may have run out of gas a little bit.
Yeah, again, I mean, when you look at Triglav's numbers this year, he had gone beyond 3 innings twice. And he was great up to that point. But I also think it's one of those things, if you're TCU, that's been your guy in that role for a lot of this year. They leave Triglav on, gives up the hit. Now the left-hander Ryan Burnett comes in. Sophomore from the Woodlands, Texas. Fairly similar role that Triglav has had this year. Burnett just from the left side. He'll come on to face a left-handed Michael Davis here.
Tough day for Davis, 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs. Softly hit right side. Warner handles, and Burnett gets out of it with 1 pitch. But Texas Tech, thanks to the hit from Hunter Hargrove, pushes across the go-ahead run. We're headed to the 9th. The Red Raiders 3 outs away from a day 2 win.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase every day. And in part by Gatorade. Fueling today, fueling the future. And Nissan. Innovation that excites.
We go to the 9th. And there he is, the hero, Hunter Hargrove, knocking in the go-ahead run. Texas Tech 3 outs away from the Red Raiders' first ever College World Series win. And on to close it out is the right-hander Robert Duggar.
Kind of a crossfire right-hander. Throws across his body. Two-seamer that'll get into the low 90s and a really good changeup. Junior college transfer who has been outstanding for Tech this year.
3 with that heater, but it missed.
You got a really patient guy at the plate in Austin Wade. Leads TCU. 54 walks coming into this game.
And Austin Wade in this situation, 3-1. Most likely he's taking this pitch. He's not afraid to get to a 3-2 count, put a good swing on it. McDougald throws strike.
Did he go? Yes, he did. How about that? Chris Koski on the call. What do you think?
That's far enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was ball 4.
I think you're right. Just a little low. Wow. And Wade takes walk number 55, tying run on base.
Wade chases a fastball up on a 3-1 count, then gets a pitch barely below the knees. Just say, what a great take, huh?
And you can look at it a few different ways. Yeah, that's one.
I love having a pitcher and a hitter together.
At this point, it doesn't matter. He's standing on first base, and TCU has a leadoff man on here in the 9th with the heart of their order coming up.
Warner's got a couple of hits, including a homer. And Floyd calls time. He'll trot out to the mound. Was a 1-1 game when Warner came to bat with 1 out in the 5th. 108 miles an hour. And that thing was rocked. It hit the back of the bullpen.
That's where it's going to go today if it goes. I mean, if you get it left to the 375 side in left center field with some backspin, that wind actually might help you. It'll push it to the smaller part of the park.
So what's the conversation here?
Well, I mean, it's probably a little reminder on the scouting report for Warren. I think part of it, too, is he did not show to bunt there on the first pitch of this at bat. Warner this year, 0 sack bunts.
One ball, no strikes. Cam Warner continues to get knocks in the NCAA tournament. Now 10 of them. That found the corner.
And Austin Wade at first base, 13 out of 16 in stolen bases this year. Dober very slow to the plate. He's been all over the place. He's concentrated on the pitcher as a runner. Key on that front leg. And if you're gonna go, be aggressive because he's slow to the plate. There's certain keys as a runner that you look for. Might be the back leg, his shoulder, but the stopwatch never lies. If it's more than 1-3, 1-4, and if you're a burner, you take off because you're going to be safe at second base.
Too high. And what's the break-even point about? 1-2-5, 1-2?
1-2-5. If you're an average runner, that's a red light for you at first base.
Duggar ready to 2-1. Lined out right center field. Coming on and making the grab is Davis. Zach Davis, what a catch out there in center field. Goodness. So the defensive replacement comes on and makes a grab and taken over for Tanner Gardner.
And defense is about angles. And Davis gets a great jump, creates a great angle straight to the ball. And in the situation they're in, up 1 and to dive, you got to be 100%. Your glove is going to be under that ball. He does an outstanding job getting to it.
How about those two things, too? Tanner Gardner, who cramped earlier in this game. They take him out for defensive purposes. Davis goes in, and then he's playing shallow. So playing shallow gives him just a little bit more time to get to that ball.
Skaug 1 hit in 4 trips, second team all Big 12. He hit as their cleanup guy pretty much his entire freshman year, now sophomore. And one of their leaders.
And Cal, you mentioned it defensively. Davis playing way in the corners. They're playing almost no doubles. But the way this ball court plays, in the gaps, the ball is going to hang. Straight center is going to hang. Put a good athlete out there and let him make plays. A lot of times in this spot, you play no doubles, and that turns into singles. And if they're playing way deep that the ball doesn't go over your head, Davis have no chance of making that play.
The only ball that would worry me if you're in the outfield right now is the ball to left center that Skaug has already hit today, because the wind is going to take it away from Zach Davis in center field, and Skaug has already shown the ability to take the ball the other way with authority.
Foul ground down the left side. Hargrove, look out. The wind pushing that out of play. Hunter Hargrove so far the biggest hit in this game. His RBI double in the 8th, scoring Corey Raley. And Texas Tech on top 3-2. These two teams met in their respective openers back in 2014, and TCU won it 3-2. Two-two to Skaug. Still cooking with the hair, and I support you too. Duggar ready, fires. Other way, base hit. Neslony over trying to pick it out. Oh my goodness, what a play. Wade stopped at second.
And they don't do that. I mean, that's the one thing when you see TCU, they go first to third against absolutely everybody. And this one is in front of Austin Wade. It's a great swing, and it's a great play and left by Neslony just to get to it.
And Wade has the play right in front of you. As a runner, you don't rely on third base coach.
No.
You make your own decision. You're a guy that you're a fast runner. You see that ball down the line. Should have kept going to third base. Make your own decision. Be aggressive. That's what they've been doing the whole game. They've been doing it the whole season. That's what part of what they do offensively. And a bad decision by Wade, not advancing to third base on that ball.
How big is Zach Davis play now? The prize freshman Luken Baker. Ball one.
I think the one thing to watch with Duggar too, he's more comfortable fastball changeup. The slider is the third pitch. And you got a guy in Baker up there who is patient, will wait, hang something up in the zone that's coming back in towards that barrel. He's shown the ability to turn it around.
That is crushed left field, and it's fair. It's gone. Fair ball. Home run. Oh my goodness. He absolutely smoked it down the left field line. Luken Baker a home run, and TCU has the lead. It's 5-3. Wow.
We've been talking about the ability of Luken Baker hitting the fastball all over the field. He gets a fastball away early in the game. He goes the other way, and this is two-seamer way inside. This pitch is way inside. So if he doesn't swing, it's a ball. He stays inside that ball, keeps it fair. What a swing by Lucas Baker.
You see that body, and you see the age, and you don't think that he can do that. He did it in College Station with a fastball in on his hands off the plate. He does it again right here. That's 90-91, two-seamer in on his hands. And the big boy can flat hit.
He is some kind of strong. That's a freshman. 6'4", 265. Big hop Garcia. So 2 down. And now TCU with the 2-run lead. Luken Baker, his 10th home run of the season. And what is it, 6 in his last 10, I believe.
Yep.
Texas Tech the whole day been attacking him with fastballs. The first at bat, he hit one to right field that the ball hung up there. He put a good swing on it with 2 strikes. And he got that single through the 4.5 hole on a fastball with a man at second base. And good hitters, they do that. During the meeting, we talk about Miguel Cabrera, what he can do at the big league level. He gets fastballs away, he takes them, then he hits it out of the ballpark to right field. Then the next at bat, they try to come in, and he stays inside and hits a missile to left field. That's what Luken Baker has did in that at bat.
Got him looking. Watson is gone. And that is the inning. But Luken Baker fired up. So are the Frogs fans. It's 5-3. See you later. Back here we go to the bottom of the ninth. 5-3 TCU thanks to that guy, Luken Baker. And his buddy will take over on the mound as Durbin Feltman will try and close it out. And those two guys know each other a long time. Yeah, they played Little League together. Look at that. Durbin Feltman on the left. Luken Baker, he was good size back then too, on the right. That's a great picture. I mean, just great.
Look at him. He's saying, you're going to hit a home run, and I'm going to get the save here in about 12 years. You just wait. That's what we got. They were planning it right then. So here's the freshman from Conroe, Texas, and the stuff is pretty special. Fastball can get up into the upper 90s, and there's not a lot of freshmen you see closing games at the end of the year. But Durbin Feltman really has been that guy this year for TCU. Over the course of the season, the strikeouts to innings pitched have been unbelievable.
Guys, the first time that Durbin and Lucan met, Durbin was telling me Lucan was on the Astros, Durbin was on the Cubs. Lucan hit a double off the tee. He said he almost knocked Durbin over at first base. The next year, Durbin was very happy to find out they were on the same team.
Jim Schlossnagle out to talk to David Savage. And so the freshman Durbin Feltman will take over. I think that's the only change. I'm not sure why Schlossnagle was out there. And that right there kind of tells the story from the Texas Tech perspective, at least at the moment. Feltman pumps in a strike. Ryan Long, the pinch hitter here. From a fastball to a breaking ball to 0-2. Long staying alive. .230, good on base percentage. Long, then Smith, then Garcia. That's who's scheduled. 5-3 TCU. A seesaw battle here at TD Ameritrade. That one missed by a lot. A steamy afternoon, moving towards the evening here at TD Ameritrade. Still to come, Coastal Carolina and the 1 seed Florida. The 1-2. And Long able to spoil that one. Popped up. Barzilli give it a peek. And that gets out of play. Well, yesterday, pitching ruled the day. So far today, Lucan Baker rules the day. Got him swinging, one down. Let's take a look at our Capital One player of the game. Guess who? Yep. Lucan Baker with the 3-run blast in the 9th. His 10th of the season. And TCU 2 outs away from a win. That just missed. Smith 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts. That found the mark, although Live K-Zone didn't think so. 1-1. Jared Janczyk started and went 4 1/3, allowed a couple of runs. And overall did a pretty solid job.
I thought he was fine. The both starters did well considering the situation. I mean, you get 2 freshmen going out in an environment like this, and I don't think realistically you can think they're going to go 8 or 9 innings. Gave him a chance, got it over to the power guys in the bullpen.
Just off the end of the bat.
It's pretty tough against these 2 teams because offensively, nothing changes with them regardless of the score. You guys keep taking pitches, putting good at bats. moving the line. Perfect tempo. Austin Wade, 3-1 peck swing, that 3-2 pitch down in his own. He takes it, he walks, Texas Tech might say, yeah, that was a strike, but that's what they do. Both teams, they do it.
Just some good plays. Obviously, a lot of good players on both sides, but we documented the job that Floyd did behind the plate, blocking pitches, framing pitches, throwing guys out. The other side, subtlety, but Barzilli, a couple of stolen bases, scored a run. Look out.
I like what Mozziello said, important plays. And yeah, maybe in another language, you'll say the little things. But it comes to show. Advancing on ball in dirt, blocking the ball.
No doubt. Check swing. Oh, didn't go. Let's take a look. That was close, boys.
That one might have been more than close. Luken had him swing.
Yeah, he did. Right field. Wade. And TCU an out away from a win. Now, you guys both know me because I'm a pain. The one other point, both these teams have done a lot of little things today, but the difference today was a big thing. And Luken Baker crushing that pitch. And taking a heater down and in. That's some serious talent.
But for the big thing to happen, you got to think the game. That's a spot.
Yeah.
First and second, one out. The pitcher wants me to roll over. I'm going to beat him to a spot. I just got to make sure he elevates. He did, and he crushed that pitch.
Really impressive. Feltman and TCU one strike away from a comeback win. Gary Patterson and the TCU group. That Jamie Dixon is Jamie Dixon with the hat on backwards back there. Looking on. So well represented. Here's the 0-2. Oh. Durbin Feltman trying to finish it off and follow up on his buddy's homer. Breaking ball, little high. Two down. Wooden chase. Good at bat here by Garcia. 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. TCU 3-8-3 for Texas Tech. 2 outs, bases empty. 3-2. Got him. Ball game. TCU with a comeback win. The 3-run homer from Luken Baker, and they win it here at TD Ameritrade. 5-3 the final. That's a really good win for Jim Schlossnagle's group.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got a game changer in Luken Baker, and we talked about it coming into this game, but you still don't know exactly how he's going to react to this environment. He did exactly what he's done for the last 2.5 weeks. Takes a fastball in off the plate, hits it out to left, and the Frogs with 3 in the 9th come back to shock Texas Tech.
What impressed me the most about Luken Baker, the ability of controlling the at-bat. He can go the other way. He can wait for pitches. He can get to the fastball.
Yep.
And at this level, you have to catch up to the bat. the fastball to be successful. He showed it to them. Base hit to right field, home run to left field. Impressive.
Luken Baker, the hero. TCU wins it. Still to come tonight, you got Florida and Coastal Carolina, and that'll come your way at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. Oklahoma State and Arizona will meet Monday night, but on Monday afternoon it'll be Miami and Santa Barbara. The winner to stay alive, the loser goes home. TCU hands Texas Tech a 5-3 loss on one swing. Luken Baker turns around the Horned Frogs' fortunes. Up next, college basketball. Number 2 Oklahoma at number 1 Texas. For Alex, Kyle, and Kaylee, I'm John Shambi. So long from Omaha.
Oklahoma will control the opening tap, and they will bring it down. One of the changes, Isaiah Cousins, number 11, operates at the